Falcon fans, and of course, good old Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan, checking in, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Oh, sorry, what the fuck? Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast, so much more. Joined here with Miss Carrie, one time for the fan. Of course, T Will, one time for the fan. T Will, I think your mic is muted here. Big shout to T Will. Big shout to Bodie too as well.
Sorry about that. How you doing? Jack? Carrie, y'all all right?
Doing good.
I had to pop in, talk Falcons football, talk about Kendrick doing a surprise drop, and say mustard.
Carrie
What's up,
pulling
guys?
up on the bye week. Big shout to Carrie, one time for the fan. T Will, big shout to Bodie too as well. We do have a special guest joining us tonight. So without further ado, let's get to our special guest, Berto.
No.
Damn, wrong. Hold
Wrong.
on. There we go. Berto, 95 North Falcons Talk Show.
Wow, that deserves a wow.
In the building.
Love it. What's happening? What's happening one time? My one of ones. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, man.
What's going on?
Feeling great. Glad
How
you
you
joined
doing?
us here.
Doing good.
Carrie's
Yes,
here, Berto's here, T Will's here talking Falcons football. Berto, how's everything going around 95 North Falcons Talk Show world?
Yeah.
We have a lot going on over there. For those in the chat that do not know who Berto is, this is your opportunity, Berto. Let everybody know who you are and your social media and how much Falcon football you love to talk.
Ooh, man, first and foremost, thank y'all for inviting me on, man. It's been a while, but I'm glad that, time is allowed, and I'm here with y'all, rocking out with one time for the fan, Carrie, T. Will, Jack. Always a pleasure to share the platform with y'all. Yeah, for those that don't know, my name is Berto, host of the 95 North Falcons Talk Show on YouTube. I've been doing this for about 2.5 years, man, so it's got into this space out of the passion and love of the team. I'm up in the Northeast, so we don't really talk Falcons football up here in Providence, Rhode Island, man. We don't. There's a bunch of New England Patriot fans, Giants fans, Jets fans, you name it, everything but Falcons. So, yeah, man, I decided to get into the space, and lo and behold, it was introduced to so many wonderful people as time went on. But yeah, man, I'm just ready to get into it, man. Ready to get into it. Glad to be on the show, man. Yes. That's the platform
big shout
there,
out to
man.
Berto joining us here on One Time for the Fan. How cold is it up there where you're at?
Man,
right now,
it is. It's cold, man. It's like ice up here right now, man. It's 42 degrees, but it feels like it's 30. Yeah, not for the weak at heart, man. This is not fun weather up here. We all can't be Carrie and be in sunny 72 degree weather. Sipping pina colada.
Oh, come on, this is November. It's at least 94, right, Carrie?
It's perfect weather right now. 70s with lows of 60s. It's great.
Damn.
Big shout out to Carrie over there. Carrie, you had a great time too as well this weekend. Falcon fans, we're on the bye week right now, so got a chance to not watch any Falcons football. Carrie, how was your week been? How was your weekend been? Where are you at right now?
I am currently on I-95 heading north, back to my neck of the woods. Went to the Keys for the day, Florida Keys. Enjoy the weather. Cocktails, and yeah, I went to Disney World on Friday. You guys talk about football. Super happy about that.
That's what's up. Big shout out to Carrie, one time for the fan. For those that cannot hear Carrie, she's on the road right now too as well. So Carrie's not at her location where she normally podcasts with us, but it's great to have Carrie here on the channel talking Falcons football. Behind the scenes, Terry, I'm sure Berto, too as well. Carrie talks Falcons football all day. So if you can't hear it here on the podcast, head over to her social media page. Oh, there goes Carrie. I'm sure she'll be back here shortly. But if you can't, get a chance to hear Carrie today on the podcast, definitely want to head over to her social media page on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, because she talks Falcons football all the time. Manchester City too as well. Big shout out to Berto. Also, big shout out to T Will here. T Will, how's your week been going, man? Last time we talked breakfast for One Time for the Fan, we had a great show. A lot of fans were in the chat up early talking Falcons football with us. Now we're back here Sunday night with Berto, 95 North Falcons Talk Show. I'm sure this is going to be a great show, but how are you doing today, Terry? We're getting ready to go around the NFL, look at some scores. A couple of things changed in the NFC South today, so we have to kind of look at that. We got to be prepared for what can happen here. But, Terry, how are you feeling, sir?
Going well, man. No problems. Glad to be here with Berto Damas, aka NIL Berto. Glad to be here, man.
Wait, NIL Berto.
NIL Berto, aka Berto Damas. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
AKA Mr. 95 North. Hey man, we're amongst the greats right now, Jack. I got no complaints. All is well.
Hey, big shout out to everybody here in the chat. Big shout out to everybody ready to talk some Falcons football. Berto, can we just go quickly around the league? If that's cool with you, my brother?
Of course. Oh yeah. Let's do it.
Let's start over here in the NFC South, man, because for fans that thought the Giants was going to put up some type of game, they didn't. Buccaneers come away with a dominating win, 30-7. Over the Daniel Jones-less Giants. Berto, this is the team that we have to play coming up too as well, the New York Giants. I'm sure fans are expecting a big win there too as well. But with the Bucs winning today, and of course the Falcons being on this 2-game losing streak now, the standings it's getting closer and closer for the Bucs to possibly get a chance to take first place. What's your thoughts on the Bucs winning today?
Yeah, so Falcons better put their best foot forward coming out of this bye. Really, hopefully, everybody on that team, coaching staff included, look themselves in the mirror and says, "All right, what can we do to get better?" Because Tampa Bay is coming. The schedule, as I'm looking at it, is favorable. Their tough matchups are out of the way, and like the Falcons, playing the Panthers, playing the Raiders, playing the Chargers, it gets easier for Tampa Bay, and also. They're getting healthy. That's another scary thing. They got Mike Evans back today. So going forward, letting that man just heat up and get back to where he is going to be an added offensive weapon already to that loaded Tampa Bay team. So yeah, man, it's going to go down to the wire, I feel now, man, more than ever. I mean, we were all riding that high that, running the South, but hey, Tampa Bay's they're lurking, man, and we got to play our best Falcon football going forward after this bye, man.
And that's one thing I want to bring to attention of all the Falcon fans. Terry, Carrie, Berto, how are we feeling right now about the whole, outrunning the South thing early in the beginning of the season? Then you had, win streak here, small little win streak there, but you still didn't get a chance to outrun the South going into the bye. As you can see, the Bucs now, with their win being one game behind, it does put some pressure on the Falcons with a very difficult schedule for the Atlanta Falcons coming up. We're not going to count out, the Minnesota Vikings. Of course, they're, had another win today too as well. You see the Buccaneers, not the Buccaneers, the Chargers. They're on the roll too as well. You have the Washington Commanders, who suffered a big loss against the Dallas Cowboys, who play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming up too as well. So hopefully that could be the trap game for the Bucs right there, where if fans are expecting a Bucs loss, somewhere along this Carolina, they have to play twice. I think they played the Saints once. Then you just saw the Giants today. They played the Raiders too. And Gardner Minshew, minutes ago, they just announced that he's done for the season. So it's looking like Desmond Ritter will be playing against the Falcons. And, of course, the Buccaneers coming up. But, Ritter, you beat the Bucs before. You can do this again. It's just a totally different group of players, but
you're asking again, a lot there, Jack.
I can't believe we have to hope that Ritter goes to beat the Bucs. This is crazy. Coming down to the wire. I thought we was going to outrun the South. Carrie, I know you're out there in Florida. How are Bucs fans feeling out there right now? You got any social media buzz from any Bucs fans saying that they're still in it, or?
Can you guys hear me well now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Sorry. I went through a dead spot. I'm on the interstate, so I'm heading home from the Keys. But, yeah.
She had to rub it in from the Keys. It's cold out here, Carrie. We know. It's cold. I got the heater on. Girl got the heater on. Terry's wearing a fucking sweater and a hoodie. And Carrie's in the Keys. So that's cool.
Crazy.
Carrie, you there?
Think
she's going through another spot again.
Yeah.
Let's go straight to Terry quickly before Carrie gets back. I'm sure she's going to talk about, what's going on with social media and Bucs fans and all the other stuff that she hears about because she is in Florida. Terry, your thoughts quickly before Carrie comes back, just about the Bucs winning today. How close is getting in the NFC South, man? This outrunning the South doesn't seem like it's going to be possible. Still some games left on the schedule. You can do this, but the Falcons have to get out this bye week and get back on track. Terry, your thoughts?
Well, Jack, sometimes, some folks just got to do things the hard way. This is the exact scenario we did not want. But guess what? Sometimes you got to earn it. So we're going to have to earn it. Our next 4 out of 6 games are probably going to be tough ones. And we're going to see what this team is made of. We are 1 game ahead of the Bucks, which is really 2 because we own the tiebreaker. So essentially, if we can win 5 out of the next 6, it's not even a question. We've got it. It's no problem. If Tampa wins out and we only win 4, that's where your issue is going to be concerned. So, look, we just got to take it 1 day at a time, 1 game at a time. We got the Chargers coming up. We need to focus on them. We need to come out, give them our best shot. We're playing them at home, and look for the victory. But, yeah. Unfortunately, things played out. You lost to the Saints. I'm not going to relive it. I don't know what the hell that was in Denver, but you lost there too. So we've put ourselves in this position. The good news is, we can do something about it, right? We are in control of our own destiny. To the extent that we win out, it's ours. To the extent that we win 5 of the next 6 games, it's ours. So that's what we got to do. Those are my thoughts. Carrie, you out there?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know what the last thing you heard of me saying was, but I apologize for my service being spotty. It does say I have full bars right now, so sorry about that. But no, like Berto alluded to, like Mike Evans being back, that's, huge for the Bucks. And down here, I live in Bucks country pretty much, so I have a family that's Bucks fans, and yeah, they think that they're going to win the division again. They truly believe that now that they have Mike Evans back. They think that they're going to win out and win the division. I still believe that this division's ours to lose, but I'm really hoping that the Falcons players and coaches, like Berto also said, take a look in the mirror and, I make the adjustments that are needed to start getting back in the winning column, because those 2 L's in a row really hurt. And I feel like the bye week couldn't have come at a better time, because you got 2 tough defenses in both Minnesota and in the Chargers. So it's not going to be easy, but we do need to come away with some wins, because we got to get right, because like T. Will just said, we got to. I don't know exactly what the math is like. Did you say they have to win out, like literally win all their games, and we'd have to lose, 3?
Well, even if they win out,
okay.
If we win 5 of the next 6, it's not going to matter, because we would have the tiebreaker. So if we win 5 of the next 6 and they win out, we'd both be 11-6, I believe. But since we own the tiebreaker, we would win the division. If we win 4 of the next games and they win out, then they would win. So
wow. So we need to win at least 5 to feel secure. Which is
the crazy part is, you might have to go back to Berto, Terry. You might have to go back to, we need this other team to beat the Bucks. And this is what I didn't want when I kept hearing Raheem say outrun the South and what we can do. That was great when we had that little, that little stretch in the division at one point. But now as we come out the bye, we have a very tough game against the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm not counting out the Falcons at any point. I'm telling you right now, I'm not counting them out.
Right.
That's my team. Terry, Carrie, Berto,
Oh, yeah.
This team can go get it done. But it's just disappointing now that with 5 or 6 games left to play, you're really getting down to the wire versus the outrun of the South. Can you still win the division? Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Right.
Can you still make the playoffs? Yes. Can you still outrun the South? That's a little bit tough right now at this point to say. The disappointing loss against the Saints, the disappointing loss against the Denver Broncos, at that midpoint in the season when we thought everything was rolling. And then, we have to come out against the Chargers. But Berto and Carrie and Terry here talking Falcons football. You guys see right here in the standings right now, Falcons at 6-5, Buccaneers at 5-6. The New Orleans Saints, and just to go around what's happening with the schedules coming up, the Buccaneers have the Panthers on Sunday. I'm just going to leave it at that.
And
the Panthers.
Something, we saw a competitive Panthers team today give it their best against the Kansas City Chiefs. It looks like Bryce Young really re-energized himself, or something happened to that young man, because the flip switched on him and he played his best football in a Panthers uniform today. Hopefully with that, it's enough it's enough
It's
to
possible they could
possibly
play
beat.
spoilers, what you're saying, Berto, right?
It's very possible that they can play spoilers the rest of the way. Yes, we have them our last game, but God damn it, we need them next week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Do us a favor, Bryce. Facts.
Yeah,
I mean, they went toe-to-toe with the Chiefs today, so
30-27 was the score. Who would have thought that? You know what I mean? It's Kansas City, for God's sakes. But hey, they went in there, man, or they stood on business and they gave them their best shot. It was a good shot at that too. So it's not out of the thinking that Panthers could pull an upset against Tampa Bay. And what better way to play? Well, not what better way, but two teams that relatively know each other very well, right? Being division rivals and stuff like that. So both teams, know each other. They know each other. They know each other well, but they don't know how well this Bryce Young has, as well as he played today. So hopefully, next week we could see a better version of this young man and really play the spoilers going down the stretch, man.
I will agree with that, and definitely Terry Carey, you can agree or disagree. The Panthers played today much better than what the Giants have been playing. And the Giants look to be giving up. You hear the comments from Malik Neighbors too as well. I believe what's that thing called, like Black Monday or something, where they start firing the head coaches like the Monday after Black Friday. It's coming up next week, so I'm sure with another Giants loss there'll be a change.
Black Monday's after Christmas.
It's after Christmas.
Yeah, so we're a little bit away from Black Monday.
I don't even think the Bulls will make it to Christmas, and we play them the week before Christmas. So we don't want to see a revamped Giants team at that point, because you saw what happened in New Orleans when they fired their head coach, and here comes Rizzy, and they end up getting the win against us.
Right.
Terry Carey, after the Bucks and Panthers this week, of course the Falcons have the Chargers. The Saints. Don't just count them out now too as well, because they seem to have a little bit of hope. My Saints friend texted me the other day and said, "Y'all ready to lose the division to us?" How is that possible?
Oh, geez, that's crazy.
I would have blocked them. I would have blocked them.
Saints have the Rams and the Giants coming up. Falcons have the Chargers and the Vikings, both playoff teams right here. This is where you have to sneak a win. Terry Carey, these are must-win games coming up for the Falcons. You can't piss around at this point. You have to either beat the Chargers or beat the Vikings. You can't go 0-4 right now in these 4 games, because you lost to the Saints, lost to the Broncos. You can't lose to the Chargers and the Vikings, go 0-4 with the Bucks having these sorry-ass teams that they have to play against. But then again, you'd play the Raiders and the Giants back-to-back the same weeks that the Chargers and the Cowboys have to play back-to-back. I think that's the 2 back-to-back losses for the Bucks right there. If the Cowboys played the way they played today defensively, they can beat the Bucks. Hopefully, they can beat the Bucks. But the Chargers, I see them beating the Bucks. I see them beating them.
Me too. That's a John Harbaugh team, man, that's well coached right now, man, and has young Justin Herbert really playing at a high level. And, he's going to have them ready. So, yeah, I feel like the Chargers could take it to the Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers got to go all the way to the west, so it's never a favorable thing when you have to travel out west. So hopefully with those parameters in place, it's an L for Tampa Bay.
Terry, looking at the Falcons' remaining games, I know you're a diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, but you keep it real, just like Berto, just like Carey. Big shout to Bodie too as well.
Bodie.
Terry, just your thoughts on these next upcoming games for the Atlanta Falcons. I know we can go with it's a must win. They have to win. They can't let the Bucs catch them. But just give your thoughts on the strength of schedule now for the Falcons' remaining games here.
To be honest with you, these next couple of games are going to be on Zach Robinson. We have not really fared well against elite defenses. So number one, we got to do a better job of putting man beaters in there. Teams that play man and typically bump and run give us troubles. So I'm hoping we can install some drags, some slants, rotate some folks around in the slot, but we need to anticipate 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7. These guys are coming, and you can't just send everybody on a 12-yard out. You can't do that. You're not going to have that kind of time. So it's incumbent upon Zach to do that. We need to take the ball away from some of these folks. Look, we are at this point. Best case scenario, we get 20 sacks this year. We got to live with it. And
you said 20 sacks, bro?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
We're at 10
that
right
hurt my heart. That hurt
bro,
my heart.
I got 20 sacks like my sophomore year in high school.
Let's
God.
be real.
Man,
Just saying,
bro.
bro.
Say that out loud, Gary.
Let's be real.
Seriously, not supposed to say that out loud.
Right
There's Falcon fans in the chat, Terry.
We are at 10 sacks right now. We are at 10 sacks. We got
calling
6
a
left.
spade, man.
How many more games are this season? No, I'm kidding.
You got 6 left, right? So okay, maybe 12. 6 times 2. If you're talking 2 sacks a game, that's 12. We'd be at 22.
I'm hoping we have like a game with like 5 sacks, but that's wishful thinking.
Sunday, next week, Sunday. Tune in, Falcon fans. 7-sack game from Judon.
Okay, well, hey.
From who? From Judon. Oh man.
I'm not touching that one.
Oh hell no, man.
I believe it.
Hey, look.
Hey, listen, man. I'm with you. Let's go, Matt Judon. Damn it. Let's go, Matt Judon.
At this point, you got to call on all these players to step up and do something defensively. Now, we're still in first place. That was the cool part about it leaving Denver the other day, Berto, because I was like, damn, at least, well, it's a 2.5-hour flight, so the flight's not that bad. The food was pretty good. Denver's pretty cool. Weather was pretty chill. But then you lose, and it's like, all right, you're still in first place. So you feel good about that. But at this point, even losing those last 2 games and knowing that the Chargers come up next, and then after the Chargers, you got the Vikings, you have to go win these games. Kerry, you see the Bucs schedule, you see the Saints schedule, and even Saints fans do believe that they have a chance. They play the Rams, they play the Giants, they play the Commanders, they play the Packers. I mean, they're not going to make it. I think December 15th they'll be definitely eliminated. They're not going to beat the Commanders. But looking at this Saints team, looking at this Bucs team, looking at this Falcons team, it's a race to the finish. Kerry, your positive thoughts for Falcon fans at this time?
My positive thoughts are we're still outrunning the South technically. It's a marathon, not a sprint, thankfully, on our behalf. So we're still
She
in
been
it.
listening to that Kendrick Lamar, you hear
it? Smart business.
I have, though.
Smart business.
But no, in all seriousness, you lost 2 games that, for me, I thought we for sure were going to sweep the Saints. And I thought, even though I believe Denver was a tough game, I thought we had a chance to win. I thought at worst we'd go 1-1. I was hoping for 2-0, but we went 0-2. So, in my opinion, you have to at least split between Chargers and Vikings. So you have, at worst, you need a split. There's, like you said, there's no way you go 0-4. I mean, that's sick work. So, I mean, but I'm just, like I said previously, I'm very thankful the bye week came when it did, because the way we lost to Denver, I just felt like we just gave up.
Just collapsed, just gave up.
Yeah, you just don't. That's just not what you want from your football team ever. So, we can't do that against 2 tough defenses upcoming, so we'll see.
I know what fans do want from their football team, Kerry. They want wins. And if you're looking at the upcoming schedule, Kerry, do you see 4 wins here without going over the strength of schedule with the Chargers and the Vikings? Because the Raiders should be a dub. Berto, Kerry?
Okay. So real quick, the Raiders should be a dub. I already had that written off as a dub, back in June or whenever I predicted my 12-5. But the thing is that I'm a little worried with this Gardner Minshew news coming out that he's having the season-ending injury, only because you ever hear kind of like what just happened to us with the Saints. You get a new head coach, they call it a new head coach bounce, get a new quarterback. They start playing real well for their new quarterback or their new head coach. I'm just a little weird feeling about, Desmond Ritter-led Raiders team against the Falcons. I don't know, would that be possibly like a revenge game?
I mean, you can make matters worse by saying the Raiders will probably be on a losing streak too as well, and the Falcons have lost the teams that's coming off of a losing streak. And that's disappointing, because the Saints had a losing streak when we played them down in New Orleans, lost to them. Seattle had a losing streak when we played them, lost to them. Broncos had a losing streak when we played them, lost to them. And then the Raiders is coming up. The Giants is coming up. Now those feel like trap games a little bit.
Right.
It's like you cannot lose these games to teams that are getting beat 30-7. It was almost at one point today against the Bucs. It was like 20-something to 0 in New York at that. Like, I need to see. That's the thing I want to see with these Falcons. Terry, you said it earlier. It might not even be about outrunning the South anymore. It might just be win, baby. Win by 1 point. Like just win.
Speaking of winning, Jack, we have a super chat from Mr. Keith Simmons.
Oh, that's my guy, Keith.
Big shout out to Keith. Let me go ahead and get this out the way here. Big shout out to Keith Simmons in the chat. Now, we ain't got the whole song set up like Uncle Steve and, the whole the trumpet, like, country. Right now, we just saying that's a super chat from Keith Simmons, but we're going to think of something right now. I guarantee you, before 2025, we're going to create something. Terry, you're supposed to do the dance and get the flag and do all that. We talking about that, Terry.
Okay. We got a super chat. There we go. Yeah.
Man's flossing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I left my rhythm back in my 40s, guys. I'm sorry. I don't have the swag no more, but I give it the old college try,
Hey,
there we go. There we go.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Big shout to Kerry, big shout to Berto, big shout to T Will. One time for the fan. We're talking Falcons football. 95 North Falcons Talk Show. Glad that you can take some time out of your day to come talk some Falcons football with us. Keith Simmons took some time out of his day to come talk some Falcons football with us. Let's go ahead and get this question around the table here. Do you think Raw will ask more from Jimmy Lake and the D? Let me text Raw. Berto, it's on you.
Oh man, let's get it. Let's get it. Will he? That's the $100 million question. Will Coach Raheem Morris, really?
As you're talking, look at my emotions as I'm talking. As I'm talking to Coach Raw about Jimmy Lake. As you're talking, you're going to see my reaction. Go ahead.
Yeah. So we man, that's a very important question. Will he? A lot of loyalty with that man and Jimmy Lake. We all know they both came from that Rams organization. Will he? Probably not. Will he ask him to tweak a lot of what he does? Absolutely, you have to. You have 11 weeks of film out there defensive wise, and it's proven that it doesn't work. That vanilla style defense, that base 3-4 that the Falcons run, does not work. It's not effective. It's not allowing these guys to play to their strengths. So going forward, yeah. It's in Coach Raheem Morris's best interest to demand more from Jimmy Lake. Hell, even go into the office right next to him and with Jerry Gray and say, "Hey Jerry, how can you pitch in to help Jimmy run this Falcons defense for the rest of the way?" Kind of how like Dan Quinn did to Smith in 2016 when the defense was playing bad until Quinn stepped in. So this is that same situation where Rock could step in and either take reins or help him out. Point blank, man, he has to.
Well, I just got off the phone with Raheem Morris, and
oh boy,
I don't want to use the foul language, but he did say Jimmy Lake. He did say Jimmy Lake.
Hello, yeah, Raheem, yeah. I know you just look. I tried to stop him from calling you.
Yeah, I told him I would never call him at the 7:30, but
I tried to stop him. No,
the connection is deep.
Right. Jack, he says don't call him again. And he's gonna kick your ass at golf just for that phone call. He says he still loves you.
Raheem does not want to see me on the golf course. As much as I've known him as a fan, he does not want to see me on the golf course. I think he's more of a coach's coach. He's not like a Kirby Smart type of guy. He's not going to be on the golf course and the football field. I mean, he's a cool coach, but I don't know. My handicap's getting lower and lower, man. I might even get my PGA card soon. Big shot to everybody that's on the tour. You might have a new golfer on the way. Just let me know right now.
He also said you can forget about seeing 80 on the run on the Falcons, buddy.
Shit.
Said you can forget about that.
I think we're decent at quarterback. I got some stats to put up about Kirk in a minute. Terry, you see Keith Simmons' question right here. Do you think Rob will ask more from Jimmy Lake in the defense? At this point, I say yes, you have to. I mean, you're not going to make no coaching changes coming out of the bye. We think Raheem already talked about that. Fans can keep calling for Ryan Nielsen, but even the Jaguars defense right now is giving up a lot of points too as well. So you kind of don't have, nothing really much to lean on here, Falcon fans, other than having guys like Jerry Gray and a defensive mind like Raheem Morris in that room, because it seems like the Jimmy Lake project is not really working with Falcon fans. Now you come out the bye, you make some things happen. 2-3 sacks against the Chargers, come away with a win. Next week against the Vikings, 3-4 sacks against the Vikings. Sam Darnold come away with a win. Fans kind of look at you differently, but fans wanted some moves to happen before the trade deadline. You didn't make a move there. The beginning of the season, I know we went to go get Kurt, and we made some moves offensively, but the biggest question still was the pass rush. Remember, we talked about Dallas Turner and Latu and these guys in the draft. And then when it came to draft time, we drafted Michael Penix, and we did get Dorless and, Trice. And that's another thing, too, as well. I think, and Berto, you might know about
Yeah.
this a lot because you're big on college football. I think the Falcons are still banking on Trice next season. That's why they want to go all in on this pass rusher, because you're going to have a guy like Trice back. And if he was there this season, Berto, if he was there this season, could we possibly be up at least with the pressures and the way he plays football?
100%.
Probably up to 15, 20 sacks around this time, because the way that Trice moves a little bit differently on that field than a lot of the guys that we've been seeing the past 11 games, because Trice has a different type of motor. And we saw that coming out of Washington. And it kind of sucks because you can't say, well, one guy's going to change the dynamic of this defense. No, but he does add a lot of pressure and a lot of more strength to this defense too as well. We saw this Trice coming out of college. He's a very good player. But Berto, I mean, next season with the pass rushing situation, Jimmy Lake right now in the defense, I mean, you're really good at this. Is there any guys that they can look for in the future coming out now? Because it seems like all the attention is on Shadur and, the Sanders and Colorado players, of course, some Texas players. But where is the big name pass rusher? Where is somebody between that 15 to 25 mark that the Falcons don't have to trade up for and go get at the end of the season? Because we need somebody in the future that's going to be a John Abraham, that's going to be a first, second, third down guy. Hell, even on fourth, he's out there getting the job done if the team decides to go for it. Berto, who is somebody that we can look for in the future here that can possibly help this Falcons defense? This goes back to Keith Simmons' question too as well. Jimmy Lake.
I looked, so I haven't really dove into the edge rushers. I did come across one guy out of Marshall, Nick Green. I think he has like 17 sacks, and we're at the midway point of college football. The kid is pin your ears back, has a repertoire of moves, great hand usage. You might call him a situational pass rusher, but I think this kid is the complete package that he can be effective on first, second, third, and even fourth downs if a offense is that froggy enough to make that leap. But I'm looking differently, right? I'm looking more of in the interior. We got two guys, of course, with Grady and David. They're by right pass rush and defensive tackles, right? And there's going to be some tough decisions, unfortunately, coming in this offseason. I know folks don't like to hear that, but it's the NFL, and it's very much a reality. I came across two guys, Deion Walker out of Kentucky, massive defensive tackle who can pass rush and stop the run. The kid's 6'7", 330 pounds. And then we have Derek Harmon, also out of Oregon, 6'5", 317 pounds, played in the same college as Brandon Dorlus, a very versatile kid, very nimble on his feet. You can play him in the 3, the 5, the 9 technique. 3, I'm telling you, this kid can excel. Now, I look at that because, like you mentioned, Braylon Trice and what we're banking on with him. I'm sorry. I'll say this, man, and this might be a crazy take, but Braylon Trice, you pop on the tape, I see a lot of Trey Hendrickson from the Cincinnati Bengals, and that's a Falcon favorite amongst the Falcon fan base that wanted to go and get him at the trade deadline, possibly even do something in the offseason to acquire him. We have to give Braylon Trice every opportunity, to prove his worth. And what we saw in college football, like you mentioned, his motor is on another level. This kid is relentless, so relentless that he was the leading nation and QB pressures, man. More so than Lateu Latu, who was drafted 15th overall by the Indianapolis Colts. So you got to start building. For me, our pass rush package starts from building from inside and then out, because building insides allows you to utilize what you have on the outside. You get a guy in the middle that might take up a block or two. Deion Walker, Derek Harmon are two guys I'm gonna hone in on the draft. If they make it, past the 20, or if one slips in the second round, Terry's known to go and get his guy. We've seen him do it with Troy Anderson. We've seen him do it with Arnold Ebiketie. Go and get him, because these guys are difference makers day one on your defensive line. So guys like Braylon can now, just really live up to that bill of being, a third round pick for the Falcons. And of course, free agency may allow us to bring in a guy or two to, as either rotational piece or a complementary piece. But we got to start looking for more so from within before we can address the out.
I'm going to get to Kerry on this question too as well. But quickly for you, Berto, right now at the midpoint of the season going into the bye, if you're going to the draft right now, Falcons recently, they've been drafting a lot of offensive players. And then second day, day two, they go get their defensive players. If you had to bank on that right now, day one, Falcons go get a defensive player this year. Yes or no?
100%.
All right. Well, Kerry,
100%.
Keith Simmons is here in the chat. He wants to know, do you think Raw will ask of ask more from Jimmy Lake in the defense. Carrie, you're always in the good mood to talk about Jimmy Lake in the defense, right? I'm sure this question is going to work well for you here, right? What do you think Rod needs to do right here with Jimmy Lake in the defense? What is going on during this bye week, Carrie? Take us to the mind of Raheem Morris. What is happening, you think?
I feel I'm a big Raheem Morris fan, okay? So this is not like bashing him at all. But the point I want to make is that it would be like malpractice not to make an adjustment or talk to your buddy Jimmy Lake about making some changes. Like Berto said, maybe getting Jerry Gray to I'm not saying he has to take over, but maybe he already is helping him out. I don't know. I just feel that there's no way Jerry Gray, with being the veteran defensive minded coach that he is, I mean, he's been coaching for how many years? Over 20 years. There's no way he's just going to sit on his hands and let what's going on with our
But as you're
defense
saying
happen.
this, I'm like, Jimmy Gray's like an old school coach. He's like, man, if Jimmy Lake failed, that's on him. That ain't on my resume.
So?
That's old boy over there.
I hope not. I'm a big Jerry Gray fan too, so God, I hope not. It's a tough scenario. That's why they say you don't mix personal relationship with work.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah.
Hire your friends or hire your family, because what if it goes south? Do you have what it takes to either say sorry, you're not it, or it's a tough position to be in. I'm hoping, obviously, I don't ever want anybody to lose their job, but at the same time, this is a results-driven business, and the Falcons defense definitely needs some help right now, and they definitely need some better results. So I'm really hoping that Raheem sees the bigger picture and is like, hey man, I need, we need to make I'm not saying changes to where he has to give up the play calling, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like there has to be some kind of change in that regard.
Yeah, fans have asked, why don't Raheem just call the defense?
Yeah, but I don't think Raheem wants to do that. I think he wants to just be the head coach. But, I mean, he is a defensive-minded coach. So, I mean, he was a DC for a championship-winning team. So, hello. I mean, I don't know, but I just want to shout out our friend Trayshawn, because I had just seen earlier he tweeted out the stat. And we're talking about defense, and I saw he tweeted this out, and it makes me sick. So I had to share the sickness of him saying that the Falcons.
Carrie's there? Did she cut away?
Jimmy Lake cut her mic. Jimmy Lake cut her mic.
Jimmy Lake's on the stream.
Can you?
Oh shit!
Can you hear
I'm in
me?
the chat.
I'm
in the
sorry.
chat.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Got
you.
you.
You're good.
Okay, sorry, dead spot. So this.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Lake's
Jimmy Lake's like, you will not
go ahead.
need to say.
Is it my defense?
Jimmy is at it again.
Okay. Wait for the key. I got you. Okay. Jimmy Lake's on there.
Hey, no, and I'll say this, Jack.
I think she's back. Carrie, you there?
Carrie, you back? Nope, going through a dead spot again. So, Jack, if it's me, look, if it's me, you got to be honest with yourself. What needs to happen, in my opinion, is we need a better first half game plan. So, if I'm being honest, we typically give up 10 points in the second half. We didn't do that against the Broncos, but they kicked our ass, whatever. That's an outlier. For the most part, we give up 10 points in the second half. I don't know what is said. I don't know what is going on, but clearly that same emphasis is not put into the game plan for the first half. So for me, it's about better game planning going into it, right? And I know you can't predict the first 15, 16 plays because that's scripted just for you, but we have to do a better job of that, right? We typically give up about 17 to 20 points in the first half. We're going to give you 3 to 10, really 17 in the first half, and we come out and outscore you. But for me, the ways we can get better on offense and defense, and I'll list them both. Number one, on defense, we got to have a better game plan going into the first half. Got to have a better game plan going into the first half. Have to be better on third down. On third down, I believe our stats are, I think we're 30th. Let me get it right. Let me not lie. Yeah, we
You're
are
right.
I
30th.
had the stats put up earlier. Defensive stats were at the back of the pack and damn near everything.
Yeah, no, well, not really. Okay, so we are 30th, and this goes back to the positive negative thing. So one of the negatives is we are 30th on third down conversions. One of the positive is on opposing TDs, we are 17th.
Mm-hmm.
So we typically only give up 2.5 TDs a game, which is why we've won 6 games. Yes, we give up a lot of yards, but we typically hold up as far as TDs are concerned, and we're typically better in the second half. So that's a good thing. Another good thing is on fourth down, we are number 7 in the league. So we stop you on fourth down. We don't do shit on third down, but we stop you on fourth down. We've got to do a better job of getting off the field on third down, whether that is bringing blitzes, whether that is being more exotic, whether that is doing stunts, whatever it is. We have to do a better job of sending guys and getting there and designing blitzes for your personnel and getting there. We got to do that on third down. We have to have a better job of doing these game plans in the first half. And maybe that's where you include Jimmy Gray. Maybe that's where you include Raheem, and they all going in to sign it. That needs to happen.
It's
on offense,
just wanting to play coverage sacks. They don't want to do nothing else but push the front four.
No,
Terry, they send extra pressure. They're going to give up so much.
Do that.
You cannot do that. With it, you do not have the look. That's like me saying, "Hey, I want to enter into an Afro contest." It's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. We can see the evidence. That ship has sailed. I can want to have an Afro all I want.
Terry, we talked about this. You're not supposed to take the hat off on the screen.
Yeah, stop it. Let me tell you something. Every year,
I'm trying to gain subscribers.
every year, I have this dream once a year where I have this big ass Afro, right? And it feels so real. I mean, this Afro's so big. If I get in my car, I got tinted windows. It's huge. It's so big, my neck is sore from carrying it around. And it's so real. But guess what? When I wake up, it's not there. We don't have the horses to rush 4 guys. We just don't. We just don't. And you can want it. Either you got it or you don't. We don't. At this point, we're going to have to live in the world where we're going to have to send at least 5. Okay,
So
we're going to have to
somebody's a little conservative on their defense there, what they can send and who they can send and why they can send them.
And I can understand it because essentially what they're saying is we're going to spot you 2 touchdowns in the first half. We know what's going to happen.
I don't need that.
We're gonna. I don't agree with it either, but I'm telling you that has to be the thought process because that's what's happening, right? In my mind's eye, Raheem is thinking, I'm going to make you drive down for 12 to 15 plays. And in that 12 to 15 plays, you're either going to mistake or you're going to score. But either way, you're only going to score 2 touchdowns in the first half. Then we're going to go in. Me and my guys are going to get together. We're going to design the real game plan, and we're going to stop you in the second half, which has worked to a certain extent, but you can't do that with everybody.
But you got to give up 2 touchdowns to find out what they're doing first to make some stops.
Yeah.
That's crazy as hell.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's
the
crazy
hard
work.
But obviously, the numbers bear that out. That is exactly what they're doing.
Carrie,
that's exactly what they're doing.
Carrie, go ahead. I know you had to finish your comment too as well before you cut out, and we're still going on this Jimmy Lake comment here.
I just wanted to quickly say while I have service again, sorry about that.
No BPE, please use your service for this defensive comment. No BPE comment.
Right? I got to make sure Jimmy Lake doesn't cut me off again. He does not want me to let everybody know about this.
You better make sure somebody's not flashing their high beams behind you. It might be Jimmy Lake.
Damn!
Oh,
Come on, Jimmy! Damn, Jimmy, let Carrie live.
You're not playing,
man.
Hold on, somebody just called me from a 775 number 2 and sent a text. Hold on,
Jimmy, what the hell, man?
Hold on, somebody said think I'm playing with y'all from a 775 area code. Berto, where's 775?
I have no idea. I'm 401 up here.
Somebody said think I'm playing with y'all.
Jimmy, let it go.
Seriously. Hey, before Carrie jumps back on and gives us her take right quick, man. I think T-Will, you said something amazing, right? And it was never. I'm gonna give the floor to Carrie because I want her to say what she has to say.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, like 10 seconds.
Okay, real quick. I gotta get this out fast. Okay.
Damn! Are you kidding me?
You can't hear me?
Hit you with that
now
baby boy.
We can hear you now. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. He's like right behind me. Okay.
Damn.
I gotta get this out and fast. The Falcons defense has given up 1,347 yards after the catch. That is the 6th most in the league. Okay.
Or tackling.
That's terrible. Okay, that's terrible. That has to,
terrible.
That has to be fixed. I'm sorry.
Who could do the Charles Barkley word? That's terrible. That's terrible.
Terrible.
And we got Justin Jefferson, one of the best wide receivers in the league, in 2 weeks. So yeah, we got to clean that up. Thankfully,
don't even worry about that. Jordan Addison showed up like he wanted to be the number one receiver in the league.
Yeah, true. But thankfully, the Chargers, I mean, they got McConkley, but I'm more worried about containing the run game for them with Dobbins.
Do we match up well against the Chargers? I know the record is kind of vary a little bit
I
differently,
think
but
we
do
do.
we match up well?
I think
the
we
run
do.
game? Berto, you're not worried about the run game? I mean, Dobbins is having quietly a good season.
He definitely is.
And
We're ranked 22nd now.
Run.
Yeah, we've gotten better against the run. I think that has a large in part to do with Eddie Goldman getting more snaps, as opposed to what he was in the beginning of the year. Damone Harris is another one. Kareem Khalid.
Kareem. What's his name?
KK. We're gonna call him KK because he is. Yeah, he's showing good bursts in limited snaps. So these are guys that are all having a helping hand, really, and bringing down the metric in the run defense, as opposed to where we were. We were ranked dead last. Now we're right around that 20th mark. So yeah, I don't see J.K. Dobbins really giving us that much.
All right, I'm holding you to that, Berto. I'm holding you to that.
Oh, no doubt. I got matching up. It's all on what this defense does after the bye. I want us to play more man-to-man. I really want us to play more man-to-man, and I think we could flourish under more of a man-to-man system. The AJ is that hip-to-hip corner. Mike Hughes, holds his own case. Excuse me. On the other side, he's been doing fantastic. Teams haven't really been targeting him as much, and Quentin Johnson for the Chargers. He's coming around now, but you put a steady vet in front of him that can show him different techniques. I think the man clams up and he goes back to what he has been doing, and that's just being a jag on that Chargers offense, which is just another guy.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. 95 North Falcons Talk Show, talking Falcons football with us. Miss Carrie is here talking Falcons football one time for the fan. T-Will, former ATO Sports. I know we're having a great time here during this bye week. No Falcons football today. No stress, no problems. It was good seeing other NFL teams win and lose today. I'm sure people hit on their parlays too as well. I'm sure people lost on their parlays. Berto, how's that NIL deal? Shit. I promised myself I wasn't going to talk about it.
Wait real quick.
What's up, Carrie? Please.
Speaking of killing it, I didn't do any parlays today, but I will say in our league that all 4 of us are in, I'm in first place. So I just want to say that real quick.
I haven't even really. I haven't had time.
You just keep rubbing on this stuff.
Bro, I got like one
you're in the Florida Keys. Yes, 99
degrees.
You hit your parlay. You're in first in the fantasy. I checked my
called a
fantasy today and said,
humble
who's in
brag,
seventh? Oh, that's me.
That's a humble brag right there. That's what that is.
Go on, flex some Carrie. Go ahead.
I had Carrie for like 1 quarter in the fantasy league a couple weeks ago. I was like, yeah, I got Carrie. I'm going to beat her. And then it was like, what the hell just happened?
I think I got Terry next. I already beat Berto and Jack already.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy work, man.
Carrie's about
hey, Jack, can I say one more thing? And this is to what T-Will was saying. It's a tale of two halves, right, for this Falcons team all year. And one thing that we've really haven't done a lot of, and I know injuries are part of the game, and of course that's obviously going to hinder what you want to do on defense and stuff. But if you look back at the Philadelphia Eagles game, right, one thing that worked in that game was the pressure that we got late in the fourth quarter, especially to seal the game, where Caden looped around for that would-be sack, which forced him to throw that game-ending INT to Jesse Bates. You even go to the next week against the Chiefs. Justin Simmons, Justin Simmons got a pick. That came off of pressure. This Falcons team, although they pressure a lot and it doesn't get there, there's certain packages that work, and they've abandoned it. And I don't understand why they have. Maybe it could be injuries. I don't know. But I don't know. I question the coaching staff sometimes do they fall in love with what worked for a little bit enough to just abandon it and just be like, okay, we're gonna move on to something else, because you have to consistently do right in the NFL, especially on defense, and in order to stay in games or even end games. And there's been formulas this year alone. If you watch the tape, where the Falcons defensively have looked pretty decent, it's just they go away from what works. And the Caden Ellis blitz, I can't stress that one enough. That one works. Basically every time that it's dialed up, it results into something good, into a turnover or whatever the case is, or an incompletion pass. Or an incomplete pass. Falcons just have to go back to doing the things that they did right in the beginning of the year going forward, because a lot of what they did in the beginning was working, and then for whatever reason, man, they switched up. I don't know why, man.
Because you're talking about that, we're getting ready to get to the last of these last segments here before we wrap it up. Berto, just stay on this. What are some of the positive things the Falcons have going for them going into this bye week? And then what are some of the negative things that they have to work on coming out of this bye week? Because, Berto, you're just like me, Terry, Carrie, podcast, content creating. You know next week is going to be a critical time for content creators as you come out this bye week and you have to play the Chargers. Another loss, and you're going to see social media go crazy on this Falcons team. Start this guy, trade this guy, fire this guy. What are some of the things that Falcon fans can feed off of for the next couple of days before we play the Chargers on the positive side? And what are some things that Falcon fans have to stress about, on the negative side for this bye week?
So, I mean, positively speaking, right? You got to look at our playmakers and how Kurt has been able to utilize them. Continue doing that because it's working fantastically, right? We have 2 wide receivers with, north of 700 yards receiving. We have Bijan, who has well over 1,000 yards, all-purpose yards. Kyle Pitts is chipping in this year as well. He's close to 500 yards. So Zach Robinson, continue doing, the best that you can utilizing these guys. For me, it's running different variations off of personnels. So I'm speaking 11, 12 personnel, 21 personnel, things like that. We got to implement more things out of that 11 personnel that can free up some of these wide receivers. And Terry, you spoke about pick plays and things of that nature. That's something I would like to see going forward. We saw it one time this year, and it was against the Dallas Cowboys in a bunch set where Darnell Mooney got free and Diggs couldn't get to him in time for a touchdown. We need to see more of that. We need to see more drag routes. And who's been killing defenses in the middle this year has been Ray McLeod, for God's sake. Somebody that we didn't think could, contribute as well as he has.
Yeah,
man, keep doing that. Things like that chip away at these elite defenses, and it starts softening up coverages and opening up run games for our 2-headed monster. That's where the 21 personnel comes into play for me personally. I'm sorry, that's just my take. I want to see more of Bijan and Tyler on the field at the same time. We did it a lot week 1 versus Pittsburgh. We did it in week 3 versus Kansas City. We did it against the Carolina Panthers, our first matchup week 5.
Why did we do it versus the Broncos? Anybody know?
I have no idea. So it's like, you have formulas out there that are working and have worked. Why go away from that? You got to re-implement these things going forward. This game against the Chargers is no gimme. It's no cakewalk. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a team that's going to be ready. I believe they're coming off a bye too, so they're going to get ready to sock you in the mouth. At first glance. So yeah, that's what I like to see going forward. That's the positive for me. What Zach has been able to do with our playmakers is utilize all of these guys to their strengths. Now the negatives, oh boy, there's a laundry list of them, right? Got to get more pressure. Got to get QBs off of their spot. Got to hold containment if we're playing a mobile quarterback. And guess what? Justin Herbert, he can move in the pocket as well and extend plays. So, for me, getting off of this bye, I'm not so worried about offensive. And yes, I know that we didn't put up the points that we naturally put up with the Chargers and the Saints, but it's the defense for me more than anything. If this defense can somewhat balance out to complement what the offense is doing, then I think the Falcons are in position to make some noise the rest of the way. But these negatives, getting pressures, affecting the quarterback in his spot, it's gonna be critical. So stats are not for losers, because stats everybody reads. Opposing NFL franchises read them. They're gonna hone in on what you're weak at and expose that. So I don't want to hear that shit no more, man. That stats are for losers. They're very irrelevant, man. So, God damn it, Jimmy Lake, wake up! It's time, man. It's time.
Shit. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Carrie?
No, Berto, man, he just mic drop.
Hey, I
Oh
mean, we're on
no,
a 2-game losing streak, man. We're trying to get
you
back on
got to.
track. So I know
Got to
Berto
get right.
No,
just got to get right. Falcon fans talking about the stats too as well. Kirk Cousins still top 5 in the league right now in passing yards. Of course, Falcons on the bye week today, sitting at 2,800 yards, pretty much 2,807 on the season. 17 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Bijan still top 10 in rushing yards too as well. But even playing last week, you looked at Bo Nix. I was looking at the Denver Broncos stats of, their wide receiver one and how many yards he has, how many catches he has, and their running back, and then their quarterback. And I'm looking at Berto. I saw it. I mean, Bo Nix was nowhere near Kirk Cousins when it comes to yards. And looking at Cortland Sutton, he was nowhere near Mooney and Drake when he came to yards. He was like 400 or 500 yards off. Had like 290 or 300 some yards in the season. Then their running back, same thing too as well. Javonte Williams was nowhere near Bijan when it came to that type of, the
Very
yards.
limited offense.
But then when he got to the game, Denver was just clicking.
Yeah.
Right. So when people see, oh yeah, Bo Nix, man, he ain't gonna have no 3 touchdown day. He ain't gonna have no 4 touchdown day. Look at his stats. You gotta look at it and say, hey, man,
it's that Sean Payton scheme, man. And the thing is that they Sean Payton, no stranger to the Falcons. And of course, he knows the team very well. Maybe not the personnel that we have now because he hasn't been there. But the tape is out there and he's seen what the flaws are. Getting these linebackers in coverage situations is a black eye. The screen, as we all saw, he scored 2 touchdowns off of 2 screens, right? Mm-hmm. Because he challenged the defensive coordinator in that sense to go ahead and make an adjustment. I dare you won't. And God damn it, they didn't. So, that's what I'm saying, man. I highlight what Jimmy Lake has to do going forward, man. He has to wake up.
Even with A1 Forever saying in the chat, we gotta get right.
Absolutely.
He just lost to a rookie quarterback. Just lost to a rookie quarterback. Now you have to go play Justin Herbert too as well next week. Any game is winnable, so we're not counting out the Falcons here, but it is part of the bye week. You're coming off of a 2-game losing streak. Maybe this is the moment the Falcons can have that switch. Now, don't forget, earlier in the season, you lost the teams coming off of their losing streak. Now you're on a losing streak. Maybe this can be your moment to go beat the Chargers and get off of your losing streak, right? Because if you get back clicking on the right track, I do see the 4 wins here. I think you're going to beat the Giants. I think you're going to beat the Raiders. You're going to beat the Panthers, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders. I think I'm going to go ahead and say this. It's going to be a cold, probably rainy day. But Kirk Cousins back in Washington, I'm putting my money on Kirk. For some reason, watching that Cowboys game today had me thinking, man, this is the team we play in a month. We can get these guys. There was moments where the Commanders fans were booing Jaden Daniels, the same one who took him to first place. And there's a lot of season ticket holders and Commanders. A lot of those single game tickets, they weren't being sold like that. Them is season ticket holders.
To be honest, Jack, I think the league has kind of whiffed what Cliff Kingsbury is trying to put out there. I think they've caught up to him. They're fairly quick. They've adjusted really well. Yeah. That's what it is. Because I know Dallas got Micah Parsons back today, and of course he's a difference maker regardless of what it is. But I just think more so it's defensive staffs getting really acquainted with what Cliff Kingsbury likes to do, because he pulled some old plays from what he did with the Cardinals he was the coach. Yeah. So you know what I mean? He had a mobile quarterback with Kyler Murray, hence now with Jaden Daniels, same thing. So I think it's just the league kind of is catching up to what Cliff Kingsbury is trying to do offensively.
Yeah, watching the game today even made me feel like, oh, that's a Kyler Murray play. He tried to do that with Kyler Murray. He just knows he got Jaden Daniels now. He's going to do with the rookie. Let the rookie take the beating because Kyler Murray was a couple years in. So, it's the OC, not with the rookie. A little bit different story. But Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Carrie, what are some of the positive things the Falcons can look at going into this bye week that they can feed off of? And, of course, what are some of the negative things that they have to turn around coming out of this bye week? Tough games coming up for the Atlanta Falcons. Carrie.
Carrie, you can go first if you want.
She's busy right now. This is Jimmy Lake talking all that goddamn shit on our defense.
Yes, Jimmy. I guess. Look, I didn't know Jimmy co-opted our show. Damn. All right.
Damn.
All right. So
look at that baby boy. Come here.
I guess so. So things we do well. On offense, we are number 7 in yards per play, and we are number 7 in yards per game. Right. The disconnect is scoring opportunities. So there's a drop off there because we're number 17 in points per game. So we need one more touchdown per game, right? I'm sorry. Those are the positives. Those are the positives on offense. On defense, again, the positives are fourth down. We pretty much hold true. And TDs per game is a positive, even though it's 2.5. It's still a positive. Negatives, obviously, we've all covered them. Not getting any pressure, not getting off the field on third down, yak yards. We gotta, if we can cut our yak yards in half, look, we probably can get off the field on some of these. You know what I mean? So that's a key stat. Yeah, third down, yak yards, and defensive schemes got to get better in the first half. That's what we got to do as far as offense is concerned. Oh, and on defense, we need more turnovers. All right, yeah. We're not really sacking anybody, but if we can get pressure and maybe get 2 turnovers per game, you know, you can steal 2 possessions. That way you can win. I'm looking at realistic things, right? Again, we're not going to end the season with 40 sacks. So look, if I'm Raheem, I'm going to send Caden Ellis more. I really agree with Berto on that. I think Caden's percentage of, if not getting there, causing pressure is like 90%. Like 9 out of 10 times when you send him, either the quarterback is going to get off his spot, it's going to be a sack, or he's going to throw it away. Very rarely when you send him does he get there. You know what I mean? So we need to do more of that. On offense, we need to do a better job in the red zone. So we're at 53% in the red zone. If we could raise that by 15%, then you take pressure off that defense. You know, I mean, again, guys, we are who we are. You're not going to come out of the second half and be a totally different team. So the way you get better is to improve the measurables, right? So we're scoring 22. If we can raise that 22 to 28, we can probably win 5 of these 6 games. If we can get off the field right now at about, you know, if we can decrease that, let's say get it down to 36%, we can win. Just small measurables. That's what I'm looking at. Kerry, we're talking about positives and negatives of the team. You know, so just give us your thoughts on what are we doing well and what do we need to work on.
Okay, can you guys hear me? I think I got my mic back.
Yeah, Jimmy gave you your mic back. Jimmy gave you your mic back.
Okay,
Tell them all the good things about the defense.
We got the best defense finally. Top 5 defense in my lifetime.
Right,
I finally saw it. Wiping away a happy tear as I'm speaking right now. I thought about that actually. I'm like, will I ever see a top 5 Falcons defense in my lifetime? I sure hope so.
Of course you will.
Oh, okay. I'm still waiting. I'm in my 30s, by the way. Okay, but anyway, sorry.
Some of us are waiting for Cardi to drop too as well. That hasn't happened yet, but yeah, go ahead.
I thought he was dropping the other night.
Nah, bro, ain't dropping.
Oh my God!
Team Kendrick. Hey, I'm still trying to get the vibes
Lamar.
of Team Kendrick.
We don't need Cardi. We got Kendrick Lamar. Anyways, I'm sorry. Back to the subject at hand.
Yeah.
Positives. I agree with Berto that I'm not so worried about the offense, even though they failed to score a touchdown. That was a really tough Denver defense, which we are going against another tough defense in the Chargers. But I have more faith, if I'm being honest, in the offense to do what they need to do to get the job done versus the defense. So I'm not worried about the offense this coming week scoring the points. I think a positive that we have is we have that QB1 that we know can get the playmakers the ball. We see Darnell Mooney having the season of his career as a Falcon. So, I mean, Ray is looking great. Drake's having arguably like his best year. So, you know, we have that quarterback. As long as Kirk's having a good game, we have that quarterback that can get our playmakers the ball. And like T. Will said, we just need to see them perform against the top defense. They have struggled against those top defenses this season. So, like I've, keep repeating that this bye week came at a great time. So I'm hoping this was a great adjustment period for them to get it together and prepare for these 2 tough back-to-back games that we have that are arguably must win. I mean, at worst, you need to go 1-1. So I'm going to say positively we're going 2-0 because I thought we could go 2-0 the last 2. So we're going to go 2-0 against these 2 teams. And negative, I would like to just say Berto mentioned getting both Bijan and Tyler on the field at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I just want Tyler involved, period. I don't even know if he had 1 carry against Denver. I believe he had 0. So I think that's a problem. We have been seeing Bijan. He's having a great year. I mean, he's really killing it out there. And so I'm not saying that you have to take away from Bijan. I'd still, obviously, he's RB1, but I do want to see Tyler involved as well. Don't forget about Tyler, don't abandon Tyler, and don't abandon the run the damn ball. That should be one of our strengths.
Yeah.
So that's my thing, is that I don't want to get away from running the ball, and I don't want Tyler to go ghost like we've seen recently, like last week. So that's my negative. And then I mean, like you said, I'm tired of opposing quarterbacks leaving the game with their jersey clean. I want to see us getting pressure on the quarterback. I don't like that they have all day and night to just throw the ball,
True.
Through all their reads, they have all the time to do what they want, have their way. It bothers me. So that's a negative for me. I'm really hoping we could start wrecking havoc. I like that we also, a positive that I failed to mention is Drew Dahlman should also be back, right?
He should have his starting job back. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully,
I think Raheem already said
so
that.
That's another positive.
Window.
Okay, so that's another positive. So I'll end with that positive note, and yeah, we're gonna win. So that's what I gotta say, and it's a home game, so yeah.
I like it.
Falcon fans, I hear that what Carrie said. She went over, the good and the bad, and then she said, "And we're gonna win." Right. So at the end of the day, she knows that there's problems with this Falcons team. Berto knows that there's problems. We're not a complete team, right? We're not the Chiefs yet, for all the Falcon fans that think, oh yeah, this team is Super Bowl ready. Even if you get to the playoffs right now, it is, any given Sunday, you can win at any time. And of course, you punch your ticket, you should be able to, possibly win 2 or 3 games and make it to the Super Bowl. But looking at this NFC right now, it's pretty tough for the Atlanta Falcons, what they have ahead of them. And of course, if they do make it to the playoffs, you might have to play the Eagles again, which they are probably going to beat the Rams tonight. What is it? Is the game even going on right now? Has it started yet? I mean, it's 9:20. I think the Eagles and Rams is playing right now, right?
Double check.
7-6. So you never know. I mean, right now, Eagles are 8-2. One of their losses come to us from that Monday Night Football game. But at this point where we are Falcon fans, just remain positive about the team. We definitely have to get some, opposing quarterbacks on the ground. We need some sacks, right? This defense needs to stand up a little bit more coming up out the bye. A lot more 3-and-outs, especially against the Chargers and the Vikings. You got to go into those 2 games not playing the way you did in New Orleans and Denver. You have to go into those 2 games playing like how you did against Dallas, playing like how you did against Tampa, playing like how you did against New Orleans the first time, right? You got to go in there and get a satisfying win for the Falcons fan base to let them know that playoffs is around the corner and you are a playoff team. You are a first place in the division right now. You are a playoff team. Now, the crazy thing about it is, of course, fans were hoping that these games wouldn't be so tough coming up and the Bucs have the cupcake schedule. I mean, it is what it is. Falcons, like Eric Barker says, you don't practice to lose, and they had a couple extra days to practice here, so we do expect for them to come out there and be a totally different team playing up against the Chargers, Vikings, and so on to end this season. But yeah, big shout out to all the Falcon fans in the chat here. Don't want to stay here too late. I know some Falcon fans got some stuff to do here. King Richie's in the chat. Big shout out to King Richie. Now, we have special guests on the show too as well. It's difficult to go to the chat and get all the comments in as we're, talking with the special guests. We want to make sure, the guests gets their time to talk Falcons football with us and talk about their channel, what they have going on. And if we go to every comment in the chat, it's going to be another hour, probably 2 hours. Then we have to call Scott Karisic in here to do the third shift of the podcast. Scott can talk football for
Yes, they
hours.
can.
Just he is a
Yes, they
diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. Chantel's in the chat too as well with the rise up. Everyone got another Terry in the chat.
Oh.
Terry's in the chat. Big shout to Terry. A1 Forever is in the chat.
My brother
Reggie
Chris.
Chris.
Big shout to
Chris, what's
Chris.
up?
Reggie 2K. Jay ND Truck is in the chat. Big shout out to William Amy in the chat. William Amy said, "Run the ball.
Run the
Run
damn ball. Run the ball. Damn it. Run it.
Player Stats is in the chat. Big shout out to Player Stats. Of course, Keith Simmons is here too as well. Eric Parker, LBB. Terry, your little brother's here in the chat. Talking Falcons football.
What up, man? What's going on? Eric and I got a show coming up, I believe Tuesday, where it's just going to be brothers and cousins. So we got a cousin named CJ, and we just, honestly, we're just going to talk trash about the NFL.
And his
There
family
will be
talking
no
football.
agenda. There will be no topics. We're just going to go
script.
from the dome.
Rogue.
It's either
That's
going to be a
We're gonna start the show and Eric's
fantastic
gonna have the shotgun in his hand. Thought y'all said.
Oh
we're
man,
going script.
CJ ain't coming. That's be man. Oh, it'll just be me and Eric then. Oh, that'll be fun. We'll argue for 30 minutes. That's great. Okay, great. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Great.
Jonathan Bell's in the chat. DA Hunter's in the
Love you,
chat.
bro.
Anthony White, Lisa Shepard, Terrell Johnson, Jay Black, Sonia Norwood is here in the chat talking Falcons football with us. April Thomas is in the chat. Tyreek Johnson is here in the chat. Michael is in the chat. You know, he's always here talking.
He's always
Falcons
supporting,
football
man.
with us, man.
Good
He's a
dude.
big supporter of a lot of
Sure
podcasts.
is.
And the Atlanta Falcons too as well. So these are the diehard fans we have. 3 Dirty is also in the chat
Three
too
Dirty.
as well. Checking in from the
3
West Coast, you know,
Dirty.
Dwayne Ruffin is also in the chat talking Falcons football with us.
That's my brother
ATO
Deke
GA
right there,
Faithful
man.
is in the
GA.
chat. Big shout out to
Right.
ATO GA Faithful. And of course the celebrities in the chat. We got Big Low Country
Oh,
Sports
Big-
here talking Falcons football with us too as well. Big shout out to Big Low.
Big
Big
Low.
Low.
Big love.
Golf game next week, Bo. Golf game next week. And I will say, man, I was watching this video the other day about some folks out there in the country. Man, they say Bo like every sentence. Every sentence they say, Bo. Hey, Bo, we want to slow there, Bo. Hey, Bo, we go over there, Bo. Hey, Bo, what's up with a little long? You gonna cut the grass, Bo? Yeah, Bo. I'm gonna get out there on the truck there, little Bo. It's like, man, every minute. So big shout out to country out there repping the Atlanta Falcons. Matthew Bass is here in the chat. You can see Matthew Bass at the Falcons Stadium, Mercedes-Benz, repping the Falcons, or you can randomly see him at a Miami airport, 9 o'clock in the morning. He's getting ready to board your cruise ship. There he goes, right there, getting ready to board his cruise ship. Diehard Atlanta Falcon fan Yuri's here in the chat too as
Yuri.
well. Yuri
Come on,
goes
Yuri.
everywhere. Yuri's
Yuri's
probably
the
texting
man,
us
bro.
right now
So
from
over.
Amsterdam or Australia, wherever you're at. Yuri, where are you eating dinner right now? Because it's not where you're
For
going to be
real.
eating breakfast tomorrow morning.
He's
Usually a
Yuri-
steak.
He's
It
literally
is
the
usually a steak.
definition of
It
like
is
Mr.
usually a
Worldwide. Like he is
For
all
real.
over the place.
Like
Supporting
celebrity.
Atlanta teams.
Celebrity.
I want to do it like that, man, because every time he's at dinner, you're right, Berto. It's a steak. And
Oh, it's a
good
steak.
one.
It's a steak.
It's a good one.
It's a steak.
Yeah,
Oh, don't forget
one
about
of
them
those
Giuseppe's. He
filet
pulled out in
mignon.
them Giuseppe's too as well. He's stepping out tonight.
He
Hey,
sure is, man.
Hey, it's not one of those filet mignons. No, he's getting the big porterhouse.
Oh,
like,
come on,
hey,
man.
Hey, that man's living that life.
Come
I
on,
ain't
man.
mad at it,
He
Yuri.
works hard, man. He's a hard
I saw
worker.
the 2 Ubers pull up one time. I said, Yuri, what are the 2 Ubers for? He said, oh, that other one's for my wallet. I said, oh, excuse me, my boy. Excuse
Doing
me.
it big.
Jeez. Yuri said, all right, yeah, follow the wallet while the driver takes off. Like, what in the world just happened? Smooth C
Oh,
is here
man.
talking
What
Falcons.
up? What up?
DSGB Halls in the chat. Falcon
What up,
Commander.
DSGB?
What
Look
up,
at all these
DS?
Falcons. Man,
I
Berto,
love
this is
it,
what I'm
man.
talking about.
I
You know
love
it from
it.
your podcast.
Yeah.
Terry knows it. Terry knows it from the podcast too. Seeing all these Falcon fans make you believe that we have a fan base, that these people want to see some wins. They want to see a positive
Hell yeah, we're
outcome
ready,
from this
man.
team. Right? No negativity in the chat. Nobody's talking about, oh, this team's gonna lose. Fire this guy. Everybody wants to see change for the better. They know that this team has some games left. They know that we can make the playoffs. We can still win the division. That's what I want to see. Now, a month from now, don't come in here acting up if things change. Right? I need to see that same energy.
Sir, this is the keep it real moment of the show. Jack, if we lose this game,
Next week, you will have folks in this chat talk about, we got to make some changes. Okay, let's be real. If we lose this game next week and the Bucks win, and we're both 6-6. Oh, bro, no.
Just as long as we don't get no changes
don't
to
even
this
speak
podcast.
that.
I'm just
Will, don't even put that out there. Oh,
I'm
Just
being
bring your
honest.
negativity towards the organization, not this podcast.
no.
I'm not
Because we're doing pretty
just
well over
saying.
here.
I'm looking. I hear
That just hurt to
and
hear. That just hurt to hear out loud.
Look, I want to win. But guys, there is another side. I want to win. I hope we do win. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Most
y'all
teams
know
come
that-
out the bye week with the juice.
Bro,
And I think we're gonna have the juice. You got the juice now.
that's great.
I
But
hope so, man.
Jack, this is Atlanta. You think you heard put Penix in? I'm just saying.
Carrie's
saying.
here. Don't do it, Terry. Carrie's here.
Don't do it, Carrie. Don't do it, Carrie.
Show right
We
now,
don't
so.
need the BPE.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
You already know because I saw people at the end of the Denver game saying put Penix in. I mean, they did, but I'm all about the big Penix energy, but no.
Oh, wow. There it is. Is she getting the penalty, Zach? And she did it on the show.
I want him to play when it's garbage time. That's it.
Another flag from the Falcons.
Flag
Look
on
at
the
that.
play. Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unnecessary use of innuendo by Carrie. Unnecessary use of innuendo.
BPE. We gave Carrie a 40-yard penalty on draft night. I think we're going to go ahead and extend this one here. Might be a 60-yard penalty.
Unnecessary use of a scenario. I'm not going to say it.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, subscribe, but it's going down in a major way. One person that we haven't mentioned tonight for the Falcons that has to have their own bye week come out, a little bit different here is Kyle Pitts too as well, man. We want to see,
man.
Kyle, got to get after it. A lot of fans still talking about, Kyle's not, running his routes 100%, and he's giving up on some plays, and they're just not seeing the same Kyle Pitts that they saw, previously. But this is an opportunity now when you go into this bye week. The whole entire team has to work to get better. You're not the Chiefs, right? You're not the Lions in the NFC, right? And that's kind of tough. We're actually mentioning the Lions in the NFC. Like, who would have thought? After all these years watching football, the Lions is the team you might have to go through in the NFC to make it to the Super Bowl. But Falcon fans, believe in your team. Have faith in these boys. They're going to go out there and get the job done. Raheem, you saw what he's done with LA and the previous teams he's been with. I mean, this is a big opportunity for him, so I don't think he's going to let it slip. I think he's definitely going to take this team to the playoffs and win the division. So I'm always here representing my Falcons and my Falcons fan base. Want to go ahead and get these shout-outs in so we can go ahead and wrap up this show. Falcon fans, this has been great talking Falcons football with everybody. Berto, taking the time out of your day to come talk some Falcons football with us.
Appreciate it, man.
For the fans that saw, for the fans that did not get a chance to watch the beginning of this podcast or hear the beginning of this podcast, let everybody know who you are and where we can find you on social media. We do have another super chat.
Ooh, get that out the way.
Oh, we rolling tonight, baby. We might stay on another hour. We might stay on another 2 hours.
Damn.
Hey, Scott. Hey,
Might be able to get a steak like Yuri now. Let's go.
Oh, you just watching it now, like at the restaurant.
I'll take mine medium well.
These came from my StreamYard from the podcast right here. Here goes your tip.
Here you go.
How much is the steak again? $400? God,
Wow.
I'll take a
I do my steak well
medium
done.
steak.
You like yours
No,
well
you
done?
Yeah.
Did you just say well done? You're
I
joking.
did. No,
I
did.
friend.
Yeah,
Well
no,
done
I
steak.
just.
Berto,
what's wrong with a well
Berto.
done steak?
That's a penalty. That's a penalty.
Wow.
Well done steak.
Wow.
Yeah, I got
You're
you, man.
joking.
Hey, no.
Can't have a well done steak? Is something wrong with that?
Am I the only person that
Carrie's
gets
world-
their steak with
Berto,
pink
Berto,
in
you're
it?
well done, right? Well
I
done.
Well done all the way
medium well.
through, bro.
That's what it
Carrie,
is.
I like medium well. I like
Well-
medium well.
The steak's still moving?
Wow.
Hey,
I'm
that's
in
what I'm
shock.
saying. What do you do? Flip and you're done?
No, I need the chat. I need the
Doesn't even
chat to
touch the
back me up
stove?
here.
Doesn't even touch the grill?
She wants
No.
the cow to still be kicking his leg. When
Guys.
Hold on. We got
You got
Where does the super chat?
Hey, listen, we about to get a
Excuse
tomahawk
me.
steak up in here,
I-
man.
we about to buy some Jordans. Oh, snap.
I need. Excuse me, guys. I need the chat to back me up. There's no way our friends in the chat, Falcons fans in the chat, get their steak well done.
Falcon
don't
fans in the
agree.
chat, you hear what Carrie's
Please
saying?
tell us
Medium
how
well
you get your
or
steak.
well done on the steaks. Because
Or-
right
or
now
medium,
it's
like-
She likes
2-1.
medium.
It's
She likes
2-1.
medium.
Wait,
No,
Terry,
I like
you medium well or
medium.
well done, Terry?
I like medium well. She likes medium. She wants
Two-
If
two.
it's a good steak, like from a steakhouse, I'm getting my steak medium.
Yeah, I like mine medium well. All right.
Let's,
Oh man,
so
everybody's
Jack
going
Black-
in on the medium, man. God damn.
Medium well for
thank
sure. I
you.
do
See,
medium,
back
medium
me up,
well.
back me up. Medium, medium
Black.
well. That's it.
Hey, come
look,
on,
man.
y'all. What y'all
Hey, look,
doing?
man. I like what I like.
Yeah.
Berto,
Come on, Jack. I can't be doing this now.
Berto,
No, it's medium. I'm
Berto-
sorry. There's no
Berto
way.
said he wants to burn
Medium.
all of the life out of it. There's
Thank you, Eric
nothing
Parker
left.
said medium.
we're going
Yes.
to
Hey,
kill
listen,
it.
man, it's all good.
We're
Oh,
going to
man.
kill it for sure.
We gotta say super chat before we get to these shout outs now. We got
Let's
another
go.
super
We
chat.
might have to say medium instead of super chat.
Matter of fact, I just
Hey,
changed.
bro,
matter
he
of
said
fact,
well
change
done.
that
I
order.
appreciate
Yeah,
you,
Terry
bro.
said well
Yeah,
done.
well
Terry
done.
said
GP, oh man, I appreciate you, bro.
No
Well
way.
done. Don't judge me.
No,
Same
keep
thing.
it
I echo
up.
Watch,
I echo
watch Yuri jump in here with the comment. Well, it depends on what country you're eating it in.
Yes,
Right now,
actually.
For real,
He would
right?
know. He would know.
That's
He
just
would
finishing
know.
a
Need Yuri's
steak.
opinion because he's like
Yuri's
a
gonna
steak
come in there.
connoisseur.
You try the one with the gold already? You guys try the one with the gold steak?
Damn.
We need Yuri's opinion on this. He seems like he knows his steak.
Yuri, if you're here in the chat, man, if you get a chance to watch the show later, because Yuri watches the show all the time, he's always on the go.
Mhm.
Please comment what type of steak. Been around
Jack,
the
you
whole-
cutting out.
Am I cutting out? I'm cutting out.
You're
Yeah,
back in.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
back now. You back. You sounded like you
Jimmy
were
Lake,
out of
Jimmy Lake,
space.
you here? Jimmy Lake.
Yeah.
Jimmy
I
like
don't know
gets
what
his
y'all
steak
did.
well
Jimmy,
done,
we-
doesn't he?
Oh,
It's like
shit.
Jason, like he just got carried. He's coming for me next. I know he's
Damn.
coming for me next.
Damn.
Okay, Jay Black just said something about putting sauce. Please, okay, do you guys put sauce or ketchup or no?
No,
If it's a good,
No, I don't
if-
put
no,
hot
if-
sauce on my steak.
I'm
I
sorry,
do not put
but-
hot sauce on my steak.
That's the first. I've never heard of anybody
I've
putting
never
ketchup
heard
on
of
their
that.
steak.
Yes.
I've never
people
heard of
who
that.
Berto, my friend,
Yeah.
people who
Yeah.
get well done steak put ketchup. I'm not joking.
I'm not one of them. I'm a well done guy, but I'll put A1 steak sauce, something like that, or Jack Daniel's sauce.
Oh
I mean,
my,
they bring it to the
okay.
table at the restaurant. Sometimes it's usually steak sauce or ketchup in there. You might,
Oh,
you know, a little,
no,
little,
you
piece here,
don't.
a little piece there.
So what I've always heard is if a steak is cooked in its own juices,
Thank
if it's
you.
really cooked, you don't need the steak sauce.
I already know what you were gonna say, T.
Right.
Will. Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't need any
Yeah.
sauce. If it's a good cut of meat and
Yeah.
it's cooked properly, you don't need
Yeah.
that sauce.
Well, that's
It-
good.
it, like,
You guys talking
masks
about
the
food.
flavor.
Senior Executive Chef Matt will be joining us right now. Explain.
That's dope.
Ask him too. Actually, how does he get
For
his
real.
steak? I'm
I
curious.
definitely will. He's working on a lot right now. Jay Black in the chat with the super chat.
Oh man, Eric.
Chat members.
If you
What
gotta
is
put
the
sauce
stat?
on that
I knew he was
steak,
gonna
What
say
happened?
it
that.
ain't good.
I knew he was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna say
He
that.
said if you got to
I
put
knew it.
sauce on the steak, it ain't
Yes,
good.
thank you, Eric.
I knew it.
Thank you.
That's not
I
true.
felt it. I
That's
felt
not
it.
true.
I knew my
Cover up
brother was gonna say that. Thank you, brother. I knew he was gonna say that. I did. I
He
had a
knows
feeling.
his Falcons and he knows his steak.
Right.
Mhm.
Berto, Terry, what's
Yo.
the stats on Pitts being open, the percentage and downs?
Ooh, that's,
Anybody
that's,
know this?
that's
This is,
tough. I don't know. I'm gonna.
So
I mean,
Pitts,
respect
from
the
what
ball
I've
out of this
seen on
one,
just route running ability, I
Well,
mean,
It's-
I've seen him open a
let's see
few
if we can
times, but
look
Kurt
that up.
hasn't looked his way. Like he's not.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I
I
don't know if
don't. I
he's
don't
this-
feel like Kurt trusts Pitts enough yet. I just don't see it yet. I don't see the trust there yet because there
Which
has
is-
been times where he just gets overlooked in his progression, and
Mhm.
Pitts is open, and he doesn't bother throwing it his way.
Mhm.
So I don't think the trust factor is there with those two.
Some
don't
would
you
say it
think
has to be
that's kinda
Zach Robinson
crazy?
in the play. What's up, Kerry?
It is.
No, I was gonna say, isn't it crazy? Because I feel like in training camp, that was the
It was
hype,
all about
that-
the Kurt
Exactly.
Pitts connection,
Yes,
like the
Kurt-
London Mooney.
Yes.
It's none of that stuff ever happened with Kurt during the offseason.
You-
It was like Mooney or London. It was all Pitts at first.
Here's
Yes.
this stat. Last year, right? 27% of Kirk Cousins would-be targets went to the tight end position, and he had T.J. Hawkinson in Minnesota. When Kirk was acquired by the Falcons, I felt like, God damn it, that's gonna go well above a 27% mark because Kyle Pitts is a little bit more athletic and has a little bit more giddy up in his go than T.J. Hawkinson does, but it just hasn't really manifested into that, man. It's just a simple connection. That's it. There's nothing special there. you got work with Darnell, Ray, and London than you do with than what you do with Pitts. That to me is crazy.
And which for today you see the Vikings with TJ Hockenson, 7 receptions for 114 yards. What's up, Terry?
Guys, funny stat.
So Kirk has been targeted 52 times this year. He's made 35 receptions. I think Mooney has been targeted 61. I'll verify that.
And you heard what Berto said about the usage of Kirk Cousins with TJ Hockenson last season. Today, TJ Hockenson went for 7 receptions for 114 yards with Sam Darnold and the Vikings. And it does look like a little bit, Terry. Berto, I don't know if you saw that Vikings game. It looks like a little bit like they kept the same scheme that Kurt would be in, and they just used Sam Darnold. Because I didn't see nothing different that the Vikings have been doing with their pocket passing quarterbacks. It looked like freaking Kurt out there for a minute with the Vikings, but it's like, oh, that's Sam Darnold.
Yep.
So guys, I misspoke.
So Mooney's been targeted 81 times. He's made 48 receptions. So that's he's been targeted more. Let's see how many times Drake has been targeted.
Drake has been targeted
for Kyle Pitts, you
90 times.
Okay.
90 times for Drake London. And for Pitts, it's only been 52. No, just answering what T-Will was asking. London has been targeted 90 times and Pitts 52 times.
Yeah.
So far.
So some would say it could be Zach Robinson in the play call. It could be what you're running over there too as well. They're targeting more to the receiving group. And even how many times have Bijan been targeted on that checkdown? 50. Does Bijan have more targets than Kyle Pitts?
He does. No, he's almost there. He's at 50 right now.
He's at 50. And Kyle Pitts is at what, 51, 52?
52.
He's going to pass Kyle Pitts by Sunday.
Maybe. Ray McLeod has more targets than Pitts.
Wow.
Well, so then, so there have been a couple of games where, Pitts stayed in the max protect most of the time.
True. Yeah. He's been a chipper or a blocker.
Add that to it. And then the other thing is, look at Pitts, you got to figure out the plays, man. You got to run stuff out. Now, he doesn't do it every play. I'm not attacking anybody.
No.
But there are times where, you can see there's a disconnect. I don't know what that is. I don't know if you don't understand. Okay, I'm the hot read and the blitz package. I don't know if it's a miscommunication. I don't know what it is, but that needs to be addressed. But to be fair, there are at least, I can think of 2 games where Kyle basically stayed in the max protect. So, we have to be fair.
We got another super chat here. And Miss Carey's back talking Falcons football with us and get ready to wrap
up
the show.
Brother D.
Dwayne Ruffin sending money from the West Coast. He said, here goes some of that West Coast. Here goes some of that Cali money. Great show. Shout out to NIL Berto. Before we do get up out of here, Falcon fans, big shout out to Dwayne Ruffin. Big shout out to Cass T, Eric Parker, Jay Black. We also got Headshot Dre's in the chat too as well. DSGB Hall. Everybody's in the chat. Falcon Commander. This is great. Talking Falcons football with everybody. We got to get to 2 things from Berto before we get up out of here. Berto, if you have 5 to 10 minutes quickly, if you can just talk about number 1, this NIL deal. Are you still getting the money from the NCAA?
Wait, I didn't even hear about this.
Carrie, you didn't hear about NIL, Berto.
I'm in the Florida Keys for one day, and I missed out on this.
Wow.
I guess you got to show it now, Jack. I guess you got to show it.
Oh, bro. Sure. Hold on. I got the picture right over here.
Oh, of course I will.
Show it,
Let me see.
It's not me. Jerry wants to know, Berto.
Bro, I got
Berto, this is all Dwayne Ruffin. We were gonna end the show with the shout outs and he dropped the 5 and he was like, look, check it out here, player. Shout out to NIL Berto. Oh,
you gotta give the people what they want.
Berto.
You gotta give the people what they want,
Oh, I am.
Hey, look, man, put it up there, bro.
I got you. Hold on. We got my boy Berto, right? Got my boy Berto up here, right?
Berto.
And then NCAA dropped. And when NCAA dropped, players were getting their money. I'm talking about big money. They were getting so much money. They gave content creators money. They gave Berto a check. They said, Berto, look.
Wait, can you put Berto's face next to it? I want to see something.
I want to do the side by side.
Let me see something.
Hold on, let me get Berto. Let me get Berto. Why can't
Berto, let me see something. Berto.
Okay, look, Berto.
Side by side.
I can't. Why is it not working with the side by side? Come on, it's right.
I don't know.
This is the image. Look, that's Berto. That's clearly Berto.
Let me see.
Clearly. And then that's Berto right there. Hold on, let's get Berto again.
Oh, lineman.
Oh,
There you go.
There you
Damn.
go.
Berto,
That's
who
cold.
called you from the NCAA? How did you get this deal?
Jack Spade called me midnight. Yo, is this you in the game, bro? I said, yo, what the hell? What happened? I was like, what are you talking about? I caught this text message first thing in the morning. This man texted me, it was like midnight. And I'm like, what is going on? I look at my phone, sure as shit. There's a picture of a guy that resembles me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm done, yo. It's a wrap.
I'm sitting there playing NCAA, and I'm getting ready. I'm creating a character.
Oh, shit.
I'm looking around. I'm like, let me go ahead and get a player ready. And I'm like, who the hell is this?
Damn.
Then I see guys.
That's Berto.
Damn.
Straight
Look,
up.
no
That's Berto.
customization either. Like that is the picture that they show. You can customize the picture. Like
No,
you can customize the avatar after seeing it. You can take the beard off. You can change the hair. But no, they left it like that to say, look, this is Berto.
Man, that beard has to connect. That ain't wavy like this.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
gotta connect.
God.
Right.
Yeah.
So, hey, Berto.
Perfect.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
Berto,
Yo.
do you get it from all the content creators? Are you NIL, Berto? Like,
Did that spread like wildfire?
Man, it did spread. It did spread. I was getting text messages like that money looking big, huh? I'm like, God damn it, I know where he's going with this. I know exactly where he's going with this. I was like, fucking Jack Spade got me, bro.
Yo. So even
Yeah.
after NIL Berto, this is a good one for you. Because Thanksgiving is coming up this week. We want everybody to have a good Thanksgiving, eat good, watching football, drink good, drink responsibly with your family and friends.
100%. Absolutely.
But there's
Sponsor us, Tito's.
Tito's and cranberry now, Carrie. Come on now. You already know
We're
Tito's and
still waiting
cranberry.
on the Tito's deal.
Shit, we are still waiting on the Tito's. That looked a bit at the bottom like we are still waiting. Berto, there's apparently some food that you're not supposed to bring to Thanksgiving. Fans seen, Keisha Lance Bottom's mac and cheese, right? And fans have seen, other people's Thanksgiving creations that they put on the table. But Berto, apparently in your family, you guys don't want somebody showing up to the Thanksgiving with onions in the mac and cheese. What the fuck are you?
That's an arrestable offense. No, that's an arrestable offense. I'm sorry.
That's the domestic disturbance.
It's Unc, man, and he's from around the way. Unc he's born in Georgia, and he's a Southern man at heart. And the day that he ever did bring that, I said, Unc, what'd you put in this? He goes, oh, I prepared my mac and cheese, but I add a little kick to it with onions. I'm like, sir, there is no kick that onion adds to any roux. I don't know what the hell you talk about. I said, please refrain from ever bringing this back over here. I told my aunt the same thing. I said, Auntie, please tell him to leave that there. But he's an older gentleman, so there's no telling him not to bring it. He's going to bring it because he feels like his plate is top tier, and it's not. It is not. That's the plate that gets left all the way at the corner of the table or the counter, and be like, oh man, we didn't see it.
Damn.
Please tell me, Berto, please tell me somebody else in your family also brings a correct baked mac and cheese without the onions as well.
Yeah, my pops does. Oh yeah, absolutely. My pops does. My aunts does.
Is it a competition at your house, Berto, with the mac and cheese? Because nobody can bring like 3 or 4 hams and say, "Here, this is a special ham." Ham is ham, but the mac and cheese is like, look, I put my arm in it, I put my foot in it, I put everything into this. Is there like a competition you guys have at your house with the mac and cheese?
Not really so much a competition, but everybody that comes by, loves to bring something. You know what I mean? Likes to, contribute to the food that's already here. So if we have mac and cheese already, they're gonna bring, what they feel is a necessity, which is mac and cheese or greens or something like that. So yeah, there's times where we have 2 and 3 of the same thing. I ain't complaining. I love mac and cheese, just not with onions.
That is sick word. I'm sorry. That's sick word.
For real.
I'll be looking extra careful on Thursday. Like somebody better not put no goddamn onions in this.
Bro, he called the other night. He's like, huh? He's like, I'll be over there. What time the first game starts? I'm like, the game starts around noontime, I think. He was like, I'll be there. I'll be one of the first ones there. He's like, you need me to bring anything else? I'm like, I said, what are you bringing? He goes, I got to bring mine. I'm like,
Doesn't even say. You already know what it is, sonny boy. You already know what it is.
I'm like, man. I said, man, look, man.
Come on now, nephew. You already know.
Yeah. I was like, oh, man, come on, bro. I'm like, oh, okay. Now I say, no, we're good. We're good. Do what you got to do. I'll see you when you get here Thursday. I'm like,
It had me thinking, Terry, Carrie. I mean, otherwise in the onions and the mac and cheese.
She said mac and cheese ain't crime. Oh shit!
Yeah, literally.
Oh wow! Hey,
It's not allowed.
she deserves. Hey, Jack, hold on. She deserves a wow for that.
Hey, okay.
She deserves a wow for that.
Hold on, we're gonna wow it up. We're gonna wow it up.
Yeah.
That's ready.
Or heat. That's real. That is a mac and cheese hate crime.
What dish
That
is
is
not
true.
allowed
That's very
at
true.
Thanksgiving, or
That's
what
very
is
true.
not? What shouldn't you put on the table on Thanksgiving? Because you said, Bert, like you
Mac
said,
and
the
cheese
onion
with
mac and
onions.
cheese is like it's at the
Facts.
other end of the table. Like,
Facts. Let's
get it out of here. What else is left on the table that people do not eat on Thanksgiving? It's like, what else? I mean, do people eat cranberries on the Thanksgiving? I know people sometimes.
I eat cranberries with my dressing.
You do
I
that?
eat cranberries
You
with
cranberry
my
dressing? So you're not the one, Terry, that when you're throwing your plate away in the trash, like you don't have like a bunch of cranberries, a bunch of like.
No, I
eat that shit
like,
up, man.
What
I
is
eat it
that?
up.
Say that with you. Yep.
I eat it
say
up.
that.
Yeah, I don't leave
Yams?
cranberries.
What about
I eat it
yams?
up.
Yep, I love
I
yams.
eat yams. I eat yams. I eat the ham. I eat that rhymes. I eat yams. I eat ham. I eat turkey. I eat dressing. I eat the cranberry sauce.
What is not allowed at Thanksgiving?
Hey,
Like,
do
what
you guys have
everything.
Watergate salad? Do you guys have Watergate salad at Thanksgiving? You guys know what Watergate salad is?
I
Watergate
know.
salad?
What is that?
Oh,
That sounds rich.
What?
It's a
No,
green. It's
I'm
a
not
green
touching that.
pistachio like gelatin.
Carrie said I'm not touching that.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. That marshmallow gunk stuff. No.
Yeah,
I'm not-
Oh, the marshmallow. Oh, the
Yeah.
marshmallow one with the
Yeah,
marshmallow
yeah,
yams.
yeah.
I'm
Is that
good.
one you talking
I'm
about?
good. Eric Parker got one.
No.
I mean, I don't know anybody
No.
that would bring it,
Chitterlings?
but sure.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. You know what though? I'm not gonna lie.
What
I'm not
else
gonna
is
lie.
not allowed Falcon fans on Thanksgiving?
Hey, my family is from the South, and my wife was cooking some shitterlings last night, and I don't eat them though. But we do have some family members that like the chitterlings. So,
bro, but you know what's heavy about us, man? So of course, you know, I'm Puerto Rican, so we have a very high carb intake of food. So that right, arroz con gandules, that's heavy at the plate. Pork shoulder, pernil, as we call it, that's heavy at a Puerto Rican setting for Thanksgiving, along with the turkey. Pasteles, that's heavy on a Puerto Rican table for Thanksgiving. And then you just add all these other goodness, the yams, the collard greens, which, by the way, I make the collard greens here at home. If you got, don't sleep. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. I learned to think it too.
I can rock with Berto on this. Berto walks in the kitchen 6 a.m. Make sure the kitchen's clean. Everybody's
washed thoroughly, very well.
These greens together.
Very, very well. These greens got to get put together, rolled up, and cut right. was something smoked in it, and yeah, man, it's gonna be real good, man. It's gonna be real good.
So we know what Berto's bringing to the Friendsgiving. I noticed that people's doing the Friendsgiving now. You're seeing a lot of posts on social media with people showing up to friends' houses. They're doing like they bring their own dish. It's kind of like a Thanksgiving with your family, what people do with their friends. So we know Berto's bringing the collard greens to the Friendsgiving next year. Terry, if we have a Friendsgiving next year, what are you bringing to the Friendsgiving?
Whatever Kim is cooking. Hey, Kim!
Shit! Terry's not even cooking.
Kim!
Terry's on the wife. On
stream. If we're having a Thanksgiving get together with Jack and Berto and Carrie, what am I bringing?
Carrie's like, why'd you add me in this?
Peach
Get your ass in
cobbler.
the kitchen, cook your damn self.
Wait a minute.
You said I'm bringing peach cobbler.
Yeah. You see that? Shit got real. You saw that? You
Very
saw
quick.
it. He stopped laughing at that. You saw that, right?
That-
real.
Yes, sir.
Carrie,
Look
Terry,
at what my brother
that
said.
might be the one thing that's left off of the plate for me on Thanksgiving. I don't do the apple pie. I don't do the cherry pie. I don't do none of that.
Peach cobbler is the best. Hey,
You
look
do
at what
Dad,
my
you
brother
don't do
said.
pie?
I don't do pie. I don't do none of the whatever you got. They got banana pudding. What I ain't doing.
Peach cobbler?
none of that.
Jack,
Nope,
look at what my brother
Banana
cheesecake.
said.
pudding,
Nope.
peach cobbler?
Nope.
Jack,
No
look-
cake. No lemon
Jack,
cake. None of
what
that.
dessert
None of
do
that.
you do?
I fuck heavy with
What
that
do you
pumpkin
do
pie,
for
though.
dessert?
We step out
That
back.
needs
We
to
step
be-
out back with our drink. We step out back with our drink when we're done with the food. That's what
Jack,
we do. That's
look at what
dessert.
my
We
brother
step out
said.
back with the drink.
No,
Is
but
he-
you don't know. But in real life,
Chop it up
you don't like
chop it up
dessert
with
at
the crew.
all?
The family goes out there, and there's no
Yeah.
dessert. The dessert is when you get into the arguments. Everybody's drinking. Everybody's
Man,
having a good
whatever.
time.
No, that peach cobbler's that damn dessert. Whatever. Okay. Hey, Jack,
Oh
look at what
my
my brother said. He said, "Nah, let Kim cook." He
Let
knows.
Kim cook. No, Kim can throw
He
it down. I'm
knows.
sure Kim can throw it down.
He knows.
Hey,
I love
it's
it.
Y'all
going
don't want
down.
me to cook. Y'all don't want that.
It's going down in a major way.
Can you
this
boil
week,
water?
y'all.
I
What's
can
up,
You don't
Terry?
like to cook?
Terry, can you boil water?
I can
Shit.
grill. I
You
can
don't like
grill.
it? Terry, you don't cook?
I can grill. I can grill.
Terry,
I
you
can
one of
get on
those
the grill.
timer
Okay.
type cooks, like you sitting over there on
I
the
can
couch.
grill.
There
Nah,
goes. Gotta go
if
check
that-
the oven.
If
Oh,
you can't
shit.
warm that shit up in a microwave, it ain't gonna work. Look,
if you want me to put it on the grill, I can do that.
Look at LBB. Everybody in Terry house can
Wow.
cook except Terry.
damn, bro, that's foul.
Oh, no.
Call a
Dang, he
penalty
put
on
you
his
out
ass.
there.
Call a penalty on his ass.
That's foul, bro. That's unnecessary roughness on
Oh
the brother.
man.
So
That's foul.
here's the cool thing, Falcon
But he's
fans.
not
We
lying.
do have a
He's
couple
not
days
lying.
here to watch the Falcons practice, get right, get back to 100% so they can be ready for the Chargers. Us here at One Time for the Fan, I'm sure 95 North will be paying close attention to the Atlanta Falcons
Yeah,
these
Eric
next coming days.
is cooking.
What he said? He said he can grill because they seasoned it. Shit, LBB going. That show on Tuesday is gonna be fire. We'll have to check on that one.
Yeah, I'm not missing that.
Yeah, I ain't missing that one. It's gonna be a whole bunch of insults, jokes, and roasts, man. It's gonna look like a damn roast battle
wow.
between you two.
It's like
But
a
here-
roast of the brothers.
Oh,
Because
I can't believe he did that.
Falcon fans are having a great
you
time. We
guys-
want to make sure you guys
I
can
can't
check
believe
out more content from Berto, 95 North Falcons Talk Show. Berto, where can we find you? Social media, X, Twitter, what else? What's the new site they got now? Blue Sky. Everybody's on Blue Sky or something.
Oh yeah,
now?
Blue Sky. Yeah,
Blue Ski or whatever it is now. So
some shit like that.
where can we find you, Berto? Your next upcoming show. Give a shout out to your team, everybody you roll with,
Absolutely.
everybody you rock with, man. You're
Sure.
doing a great job in this content creator
Thank you,
community. And we definitely thank you for having you here on the show.
Of course, yeah. Shout out my guys, Antoine Smitty Smith at Smitty Sports Machine, Chris Tipmore at A1 Forever Sports, and we have a new member of as well, Bro Talk, who you could find him on Twitter under that Bro Talk or BK underscore something like that. But it's Bro Talk. You look it up. He's there. Fire. These guys all
BK
bring it every time
7.
they're. Yeah, yep. I didn't know his X handle. I'm sorry. I just know him as Bro Talk. But he's a member of the 95 North Sports Machine. Yeah, so shout out my guys, man. We rock heavy every Wednesday night. We got something coming up on Wednesday. Obviously, we're going to be previewing the Chargers game up and coming for this Sunday. You can find us, on either one of our platforms. My platform, 95 North Falcons Talk Show on X. On YouTube. You can find me on X under RI Falcons, and I will be back on Bleacher Report immediately after the game goes final on Sunday to break down and give my post-game reaction to the Falcons and Chargers. Had the week off this week, but I'll be back heavy for next week and throughout the month of December. You can find me exclusively on the Bleacher Report app. So again, One Time for the Fan, Jack Spade, T. Will Carey, shout out Bodie. Thank y'all very much for having me on this evening, man.
Hey, this is great. This is great talking Falcons football. You see the new member, 95 North Falcons Talk Show right there, Bro Talk. Put his information up on the screen, so make sure you go follow him too as well. Berto, 95 North Falcons Talk Show is great. You can join us here tonight. Of course, you definitely be back somewhere between now and the end of the season because we always talk Falcons football. Miss Carey, I know you have a drive ahead of you because you said you're the Florida Keys. Is the sun still out over there in the Florida Keys? So Florida Keys folks a little different than everybody over here in Georgia and Atlanta. So
it's dark out, but it's actually cold. It's cold for me right now. It's 58 degrees, so I got my seat warmer on in my car. It's cold. But yeah, no, I want to shout out, obviously, you, Jack, T. Will, Berto, our special guest. It's always great to talk to you guys about Falcons football. I also want to apologize about my technical difficulties. That was partially me because I'm traveling, partially Jimmy Lake because he doesn't want me to out the defense.
Shit.
Play calling. I get it.
Carey holding the steering wheel, looking back at the rear mirror, seeing that damn truck with those headlights.
Right? Oh my God.
That's crazy. There she goes again. Oh,
Damn.
So you mentioned Jimmy Lake. It happened a couple months ago. We kept
looking at
mentioning
me,
Ritter. I
like-
think it was Kiki on the
There it is.
podcast. As soon as we say Ritter, bam, there goes connection. Connection was gone. But yeah, Carey, you got it.
Yeah, so no, I just want to shout out you guys, and I want to apologize about the connection, but I appreciate you guys having me on, and I want to shout out everybody in the chat. Everybody was really active, all the Falcons fans, and yeah, let's beat the Chargers, and I hope everybody has an amazing Thanksgiving. Stay safe and enjoy some really good food. no mac and cheese with onions, and none of that
I won't be
weird,
having
weird
any.
marshmallow salad. I'm sorry.
No
that's
marshmallow
never gonna
salad,
go.
mac and cheese, onions, and no croissants.
And
Croissant.
yes, we definitely have some croissants. And shout out to Big Low.
Yeah, that's crazy work. You said, what is it? What kind of salad is it? Marshmallow
I
salad?
don't
What?
know.
No,
I just
it's Watergate salad. And the
Is
way
that
my
what they-
wife doesn't make it with marshmallows. It's delicious. I'm telling you. If Carrie tried it, she would
Is that the
love
one with
it.
the
Wait,
raisins
wait,
and everything? Like the
wait, hold
raisins?
on. Is it called?
doesn't make it with
What's it
raisins.
called? Watergate.
Watergate salad.
Watergate
Well, it's
salad.
essentially pistachio mixed with pineapples and a bunch of other goodness, and it's delicious. I mean, it's
Okay.
absolutely
I
delicious.
see
Alright.
it.
So
I got you.
You know,
if we ever
Maybe
get
I'm getting it
together,
confused.
No,
What?
this is
T-Will,
Terry's been
is
in
it
that
the one with
AMG
the
lounge at the
is it the
stadium. He know what he eating.
T-Will, is it the one with the cherries in it? It has the red like cherries and
yeah, it does have cherries.
Okay,
Yeah.
see, I've never heard it called Watergate salad. I'm not gonna lie. White people call it ambrosia salad, I think. But I'm sorry, they're not allowed to bring that to my.
yeah.
They're not allowed to bring that to my dinners. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, no.
Yo.
Sorry.
Oh,
And no
man.
onions with mac and cheese. I gotta do
No.
a check at the door. You know how people check IDs at the gate? I'm checking like what you're bringing to the cookout, what you're bringing to the Thanksgiving
Lift up the
dinner.
aluminum,
I'm sorry,
aluminum foil.
no.
What you got under there?
Yes.
Oh, okay, you can go in.
But no lie. That's why. No, I'm not
That's
even
crazy.
joking. That's why my grandma and I do all the cooking, because I don't want somebody coming in with a weird dish. I'm sorry. I appreciate the thought, but I rather just cook it and I know it tastes good and everybody can enjoy it. And honestly, I love to cook because it's like the satisfying feeling of seeing everybody, happy and feel good and when they like your food. So, yeah.
that's true.
That's
valid.
Rock fans hit that like. Go ahead, Gary.
No marshmallow salad. Sorry. But I will try your wife's. I will. I'll try any food
Okay.
once. I will.
all right.
So
Carrie's gonna try your Watergate salad.
I love that you call it Watergate salad. I've never heard it called that. But
Never.
I'll
First
definitely
time
try it.
hearing it here too as well. One time for the fan.
You'll love it. You'll
Falcons
I
love
can
fans hit
talk
that like
food
share.
as long as Falcons football, if I'm being honest. So I love that we talked about that a little bit.
And that's why we bring, Chef Matt to the show. He does give us a opportunity to hear what's going on at the stadium or see what's happening at the stadium, but then behind the scenes. You heard about the time that Chef Matt, they were giving away what was it, like 100,000 hot dogs or something for all the fans or whatever for the Arthur Blank Ring of Honor. And they had to bring in more cooks and more stands. And these
100,000
new
glizzies
grills.
at the dome? Yeah.
Bro, 100,000 glizzies, bro. They broke the record.
That's crazy work, bro.
Jack,
And,
you're
you know.
missing out.
What, apple
Sorry,
pies?
somebody said you're
Apple
missing out on
pie?
the pie.
Jake from State
Yes.
Farm, you're missing out. You're missing out, Jake from State
I'm
Farm.
good on
You really
that.
are. You're missing out.
Terry, go ahead, your shout outs, man. Thank you for everything you've done here at One Time for the Fan, just like Carrie, just like Bodie. You guys represent to the fullest, man, and we always talk Falcons football. I know Carrie was giving an apology about her connection, but you can notice that every time Carrie went away, she came back. She wants to talk Falcons football. There's nothing wrong with that. Even on her drive from the Keys and her mansion to her other mansion at the other part of Florida, she still wants to talk Falcons football, chat with the fans. And it's great that Carrie can be here because a lot of people ask us, when is Carrie coming to the show? When is she going to come back to the show? There she is right there. So big shout out to Carrie. Of course, Bodie, he's working on something amazing right now. So big shout out to Bodie for what he got going on. Man. I'm sure he'll be back on the podcast here shortly. But T-Will, your shout out, sir, for the
Yes, sir. Well, first and foremost, let me shout out to Mr. Jack Spade, Miss Carrie, and Mr. Berto. Berto, we thank you for joining us, brother. We appreciate it. As always, it is a privilege and a pleasure to share a screen with you.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Likewise, brother.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
Likewise,
those of you
man.
who don't know, Berto, away from here, very humble guy, always willing to talk, always willing to contribute. Just a humble guy. So I appreciate that. All right, some shout outs. Number one, you can see me here One Time for the Fan, typically Wednesday nights and Friday mornings while football season is in. And then once football season is done, it's Sunday nights at 8 p.m. You can also find me at 4 My ATL Sports 1. That's the number 4, My ATL Sports, the number 1. On YouTube, we air shows 7 p.m. on Fridays and 8 a.m. on Mondays. Last but not least, hey, want to thank God. Would not be here without him. And especially want to thank Mr. Jake from State Farm. No, Jack Spade and my brother Eric Parker for getting me in this business. And that's what I got. So, Jack, it's on you.
Hey, big shout out to everybody checking in the chat. Thank you all for rocking with One Time for the Fan tonight and 95 North Falcons Talk Show tonight. Big shout out to what they got going on over there on their channel. Make sure you guys head over there, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Let's make sure we can have a great Thanksgiving week before we get ready for these Falcons and Chargers on Sunday. Pack out the bins. You know, we need to see everybody in attendance, right? There's still a lot of tickets for a decent price available. I know some people complain about the Cowboys ticket and the Chiefs ticket and the Steelers ticket. Well, these Charger tickets and then those Giants tickets and those Carolina Panther tickets are at a reasonable price right now. So I don't need to hear fans saying, oh, I'm not going to pay for that ticket for no winning team. Well, your team is winning right now. We're still in first place. So now's your opportunity to get a reasonable price ticket to go see a team that's possibly going to the playoffs here on the field at the Mercedes-Benz. So
Jack, I got breaking news. The Giants just fired their head coach and GM. So when we see them, they will have a new coach.
Get out of here.
I'm getting a call.
Oh,
damn it.
My God.
I'm getting the call. I'm getting a call from the owner of the Giants right now. I think they need the quarterback.
Yeah.
They need Mr. 80 on the run.
I hear you. All right. Yeah. No, that came out about 3 minutes ago. They fired them both. Head coach Brian Daboll and GM Joe Schilling.
Jack, you're muted.
Or we can't.
You hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah. Before we get up out here, I think it was funny the other day is seeing the Jets GM talking with Jeff Ulbrich, the interim head coach, and the GM. I guess the team owner went to the practice in a helicopter, and then the Jets GM Joe Douglas turns to Jeff Ulbrich and says, "Hey, if this is my last practice, it's been an honor serving with you." Like they're on the battlefield.
Damn.
And sure enough, that was his last practice.
Damn.
So to hear this coming out of Giants camp after Malik Neighbors made those comments today about the offense and why he only got the ball once when they were down 30-0. And you can hear Malik Neighbors like, it ain't me, it ain't the quarterback. You better talk to Babs, talk to the Bowles, whatever his nickname was. And then, you know, when you hear that from your rookie franchise wide receiver in 2024 at a team that's 2-8, 2-9, that's disappointing. So I think, you know, tomorrow after this game, after that Monday Night Football game is played, you're going to see a lot of teams that's going to be hit with the your team has been eliminated for the season. The Giants will be one of them. The Carolina Panthers will be one of them. The Jets will probably be another one too as well. The Patriots will be another one. So you'll start seeing teams within the next 2 weeks start getting hit with your team has been eliminated. And then it's early Cancun visits for most of them. Falcon fans, definitely hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Shout out to Kerry. Shout out to Berto. Shout out to Terry. One time for the fans. Shout out to Bodie, too, as well. You see I posted some information on the screen here about some upcoming events. So continue to rock with One Time for the Fan, 95 North. Everybody in the content creator community doing great things. Continue doing it. Continue supporting these Falcons. It's all about that red and black. Also, go Dogs. See y'all in the SEC championship.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, we didn't play Boomer Sooner. We didn't play them Sooners.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. We also didn't play Vandy too. But big shout out to everybody here in the chat. Once again, we will see y'all. Terry, if not a pop-up show between now and Wednesday. Wednesday's the next show. We'll have a special guest joining us too as well. But it's bye week. Let's have some fun. It's Thanksgiving Thursday. Let's have some fun. Right? Berto, I thank you so much for joining us, man.
Of course. Thank you.
Definitely
Anytime,
salute to you and your channel.
Thank you, man.
Hopefully we can get 2,000 subscribers by tomorrow and we can catch you. But if not, we'll be there soon.
You'll get to me soon enough, man. You definitely will, man. I have complete faith in that, brother.
Hey,
Absolutely.
it's going down. Wednesday nights at 8 with Berto, 95 North. Wednesday nights at 9, One Time for the Fans. So y'all can tune in. We got, hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours of streaming for all the Falcon fans.
All
out there.
good
It's like
content.
prime time Wednesday night, man.
It's a prime time. It's pre-Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Podcast, having a good time. You know, might even bring out the Tito's on Wednesday night. It's bye week. But salute to everybody. I can't tell y'all enough how great y'all are Falcon fans. Continue to rep this fan base. You guys saw what we did on the road this season. We're taking care of business off the field. You see what the fans are doing. We're taking care of business off the field. The parade, the parties, the events, everything we're doing off the field. But the team needs to win on the field. We'll see y'all Wednesday night at 9 to talk some Falcons football with y'all. Berto, Carrie, Terry from the Fan for the
Safe
Fans.
travels.
One time for